Kane gang, 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 Kane gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. Kane gang, 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 Kane gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. Rep since a juvenile, I be where they throwing up using crowds. You know how that school get down, not taking no L's, we ain't losing now. Don't get it confused right now, I represent making these music sounds. They play me when they study in their dorm room, request me an Uber now. I be screaming Kane gang, across the world they be screaming out the same thing. We first to arrive and last to leave, we filling the sense of capacity. And no, I won't change while you asking me. Be throwing this youth to the casket deep, be all on the field like Sebastian B. Rockin' Kane's way, I'm a fashion freak. Look, I be staying live, I don't pipe down. Ass down life, it's a lifestyle. Ain't like them other schools, don't confuse us. We the only ones that really throw to you up. But Kane's fam turned up where you find me. Hit hard like I seen it go to Shanti. Try to reach a man D, they remind me that them Kane's right back in they prime. Screaming out Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. Kane gang, 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 Kane gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
CWA. Kane gang.
Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain.
Go ahead and
right here, right now.
subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up, Canes? What's going on? It was a tough one, man. All right, man, let's get this thing rolling. Man, big shout out to my man Solo D. Let me know, like I said, in the comment section. I see y'all already started, but let me know in the comment section everything sounds good. We can get this thing rolling. We can dive deep into it. And knowing this is their last game of the season, it'll be a while before we get back to doing these kind of shows. Of course, we're going to do shows about the Hurricanes, but so far as games and stuff, it'll be fall of next year. We may, do a little spring something or whatever. But anyhow, let me know just quickly in the section everything sounds well, and we can get ready to go. Bottom, I appreciate you, man. You're always right here for me, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate the thumbs up. All right, here we go. Let me bring my boy V12 in, and we're going to jump straight into this thing. I know I'm going to open up the phone lines. Y'all ready to get into it? I get it. I understand. We're going to make it happen. V12 in the building. Talk to us, man.
I can't stand the rain against my window. I can't stand the rain. He how. Hey, I told you what it was going to be, and I'm Hurricane proud. I just saw the rain. Coach, I saw the rain. I saw it. And so I just had to put it out there. I know I got a little, my comment, I must be crazy. I know I like, we let ad-lib be put in there, but I just had to tell you what it was like coaching. I love them boys. I'm a Kane. Come on, I go way back. Oh, Russell, Maryland. You know how we do. Come on now. We're going to get into it, though.
We're going to get into it, man. Listen, like I said, it was a tough one tonight. Real quick, man, big shout out to Roland Mathurin. I appreciate you with the $4.99. It says, tough tonight. Shout out to Perry. Prayers to King. And definitely, man, that's huge right there, man. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And like I said, we're going to keep it Kane around here. right, man. So we already jumping into the soup. I mean, everybody jumping in already. We already got 75 in right now. The comments jumping in. That's perfect. Again, like I said, I am doing the giveaway. I got it right here. The giveaway for the Canesville. I know that light is a little bright. Got the gift card right here. I'm going to get into it. We're going to find out exactly what's going on when we get to a certain level. I'll definitely let you know. So before we get started, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. About to open up the phone lines in a few minutes, but I just want to get some housekeeping out the way. We got quite a few comments in the section. People already asking for the phone number. People ready to get it off their mind, so let's go ahead and get it. But before we get that going and we started answering questions back and forth, V12, what's your impressions for the night?
Well, like we spoke about in the pregame, I wasn't confident in the defense. I mean, I'm sure you're going to have some callers call and say the defense played better. Yeah, it was 700 and some yards in North Carolina, but it was over 400 yards of total offense for Oklahoma. So if you want to say the decrease in yardage is a positive sign, I guess I can take that. I didn't like how we came out. They put up 21 points in the first quarter, and they had an individual who only caught one pass the entire season go ham on us. And so if you're a Canes fan, if you're comfortable with 37 points a game and the 60-something that we gave up to North Carolina, 40 we gave up to Clemson, and other scores throughout the year, if that's the kind of Canes fan you are, well, you got to kind of check yourself. Because, again, the defense, to me, they didn't play well at all. And I knew it was coming down the pipe.
Again, they didn't, man. You know what? I'm going to say this, man. That last little stretch, they played like Canes, right? That last little stretch. But before that, man, again, I see people just from an effort standpoint, bro, not getting to the ball, right? I'm not going to even get into scheme and that anymore. I'm tired of talking about Blake Baker and his scheme and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, right? But I'm seeing guys not even getting to the ball. I'm seeing dudes I think my man tightrope the sideline one time, people pulling up. Hell, even Bubba Bolden on the last touchdown, he could have laid.
He should have cleaned him. He should have cleaned him. He should have cleaned his clock. He didn't. That's why we kindred brothers, man. That's why we can, bruh. And nowadays, that wouldn't have been an easy touchdown. You have to earn that touchdown. I'm not saying you gotta spare him. It would have been a clean shoulder shot to the chest. Boom. Let him earn it, dog. He fluffed. He missed the hole. He didn't even hit him. He didn't even touch him.
He didn't even try. So my thing is, he didn't even try. And then here's my deal, right? I'm at the point of no return. There is no next week for Bubba Bolden. There is no next year for him so far as Hurricane, right? I think he's going on to the league. If I got to get ejected, and I'm not saying you trying to intentionally do it, but I'm gonna do everything I can to dislodge this ball from this individual so he doesn't score. And then my backup got to go in there. Like I said, if I got to jump on the grenade so everybody else can live, then so be it. I'm a dead mother, if you understand what I'm saying. I mean, you even see where he dipped his shoulder to go around him. You know, I mean, it's tough, bro. It's tough, man. It's so, like I said at the beginning, V12, it's the inconsistency I'm scared of. You know what I mean? It's the inconsistency I'm scared of. And that's the problem right there. I'm going to definitely jump into some of these things. I see people jumping on McLeod head and all that stuff. I'm going to get on to that too. Also, let's talk about King for a second. He got hurt towards ACL. You know, that's
they confirmed it. ACL. It looked like. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't confirm it. I just been around this game long enough to know it's going to either be an ACL, some kind of, and I don't think he did it on the hit. I think he did it when he tried to
cut. Yeah, I think he was on the cut.
And it just went out on him, man. And unfortunately, that happened to him. But fortunately, it happened to him at this time. Where he doesn't have to rush his rehab. He doesn't have to try to hurry up and get back, you know what I mean, and put his body through that. So, like I said, unfortunately for him, and I think he had some knee issues before, but unfortunately for him, it did happen to him. But fortunately for him, he's got a plenty of time for recovery. where he didn't have to feel like it isn't happening week one, where he could feel like he got to try to get back before a bowl game and you're rushing yourself and all that, man. So let me do this real quick.
Let me respond to that when you get a chance, Coach.
Well, go for it.
I think we spoke about this towards the end of the show earlier and on phone call, and I wasn't privy to the initial conversation you had before I hopped on. But I said to you, I don't think Miami should be playing in this bowl game. I think we should have opted out of this bowl game. I think what happened to De'Aaron King is squarely on Manny Diaz's head, because we have 16 other teams who have opted out into this game. We had nothing to prove to anyone. We had nothing to prove. De'Aaron King didn't have anything to prove. So for him to put this man in this situation, I kind of put the blame squarely on his head, because they shouldn't have accepted the invite. We had nothing else to prove. We were 8-2 with the offense was running fine. All thing we had to do was improve the defense going into next year. And so when you look around, that was a casualty that we didn't have to have. And now this man potentially has to go through rehab, and who knows what's going to happen next year. Appears to be on the same knee he injured before when he was at Houston. So again, it was all bad. Tonight was all bad.
Yeah, man, real quick, your sound is going in and out as you talk. It's popping. I'm not sure if it's the Bluetooth connection, but while you check on it, real quick, I want to make some quick announcements on some guys that did. Alakazam, again, man, appreciate you. Had a chance to finally talk to you. Called in earlier. I hope that barbecue was good you were cooking. So I appreciate the $2. It said y'all play hard. He's a Clemson fan, but he's showing love for the Canes. He said y'all play hard. It was 21-0 the first. Prayers for King, and as well as. Let me see here. We got a $5 donation as well from Slim Shady Canes. Appreciate the $5. He says, I saw 5 short interceptions. They turn their heads around. Exactly what you said, Coach. That's not scheme or coaching. That's effort. Exactly, man. And that's what it is. So before we move on real quick, guys, I'm definitely going to give y'all love. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, man. And like you said, everything goes back into this channel. All right, man, so we back at it. You know what I mean? It's so many things to unpack here. I mean, we can talk about, what happened to De'Aaron King is why guys are opting out. We can talk about all these different things. You know what I mean? We can do a lot of this kind of stuff, man, and it's just crazy. I'm going to open the phone lines here in a second. We at 135 right now in the chat. I appreciate that's viewing us right now, man, so I appreciate that very much. And the things are rolling in, so please make sure y'all go ahead and read them yourself, because I can't hardly catch up. They popping through so fast over here. But real quick, man, Dennis Wilson, I want to put this up. I'm not sure if it might be who I think it is. I know he said, yeah, like you know me, but last week you know me, but yeah, like you don't know me. He said, I know how it feels. I've been down as a Miami fan since 1975. Ooh, that's 2 years before I was born, man. So, yeah, you've been at it for a minute, man. I'm going to tell you my take on the V12. Is I've come to the realization that it's a lot of things here. It's a lot of things when it comes to, yes, there's some coaching issues, but there's plenty of blame to go around. Yes, it's some player effort issues. There's some schematic issues. There's some maybe what I believe administrative issues. There's some nepotism issues. It's a lot of different things, and they're not major they're not major things that need to be fixed. They are small nuances, but they're starting to rear their head right now, and that's all I'm trying to say. So, yeah, they said the phone line's open. We're gonna open them up, I promise. But these phone lines better be jumping when I open it, because y'all got something to say. We definitely want to hear it, man. So, anything before I open up these phone lines, we just start taking questions. I just want to take questions, because my thing is we can go over stats. We can go through all that stuff like we normally do and beat the dead horse. This is the last race for the horse for this year. So why beat the dead horse? I want to be able to answer questions and have a dialogue with the fans and with the viewers. Let's just answer questions if you don't mind doing that, V12.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So anything you want to say before we get started?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a lot. That's a lot to go around. I think you made a valid point about effort. And let me just say this, and you can't hear me?
Yeah, it's just popping. I don't know why it's popping like that, but go ahead.
Let me turn it down. that better?
Yeah, it's good. It just was popping. Hey, do me a quick favor in the chat. Let me know if if it's popping on my end. I'm hearing it like that. But go ahead, V12.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Effort is huge, and that's one thing that we, as UN fans, we pride ourselves on effort. And from a receiving standpoint, we have to get a lot better. You know what I had to do, Coach? I had to look up where Wiggins is from and where Pope is from. And I was shocked to find out that they are from the Miami area. That is not Miami football. That is not Miami talent. That is not Miami's drive. I was so disheartened. I was shocked because that's not how we roll down there. And for them to not assist N'Kosi Perry, who, I mean, my hat goes off to that brother. He played the best he could. He played very well. And for them to flat out not give an A+ effort to catch the ball, I don't think they need to be on the field for a very long time. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, man. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's the headphone. I just put it up there so you can see it. But I am going to say this before I do open the got it. So I'm going to just say this before I do the phone lines. N'Kosi Perry, I think, did an extraordinary job. Unfortunately for that young man, and I'm just going to say this to say this, I believe his time at the University of Miami is up simply because he has now lost the popularity contest. De'Aaron King is coming back next year. Everybody's talking about TVD, and everybody done lost their mind about Jake Garcia. So with all that being said, unfortunately for him, and this happens sometimes. I'm gonna cut you down a little bit, V12. This happens sometimes. In the game is you just get caught in the wrong cycle, right? He's been through all the different coordinators. He's been through the different coaches, and that happens to him. I hope he takes advantage of this transfer opportunity because I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great young man. I think he's a great kid. I also think he's a great player. He just fell into the wrong spin cycle. You understand what I'm saying? And by him falling into the wrong spin cycle, therefore, it's just not his time. I mean, this dude has some great touch passes. He has some great, that one he threw to Cam Harris on the sideline, most quarterbacks not going to even try that ball. You know, he got a pair of cojones on him too because he'll try some stuff that most people are scared to do. You know what I'm saying? So I like him. I think he has great touch. I think he understands the game. And our receivers did not help him out. We actually reverted back to the UAB day of dropping passes. Think about what happened if we catch them. You know, just think about he blew that screen on the last one, right? Okay, I get it. That's kind of tough. A lot of people don't realize to spin around like that, you know, you fake one way to spin around throwback screen, you got to locate that guy and you got a guy in your face. Should he have made a throw? Yeah, definitely. But he comes back and throws a dime to Brevin Jordan, right? And he goes right through his hands for the first to keep the chains moving. Those are the type of things I'm saying. I'm going to take this last one and I'm opening up the phone lines. I just want to say that about N'Kosi Perry. You sound pretty good, V12, at this point, so we sound like we're good to go. You
okay.
Good? All right.
Yeah.
Chug Mobile in the building. I'm going to let you respond to that. Go ahead. Chug, I'm going to read his thing. Hello, Coach Hayes and V12. Mark Pope dropped 2 easy deep balls inside the 5-yard line and in his bread basket. He is terrible and should not play again. Wiggin also dropped a screen for a score. Terrible. Yeah, I agree with you, Chug Mobile. You know what I mean? I hate to call the kids terrible. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, it's tough, man. 'Cause, you know, I've been a coach. I'm not going to, you're terrible. You know, I'm just not going to do it. I get it. I understand. But doggone, guys. I mean, y'all, that's what I'm talking about, the inconsistency. We had a drop season at the first 2 or 3 games of the season. Boom, we fixed that. These guys catching the ball. Then we revert right back to it. Oh, golly. Vito, what's your point right quick? I'm going to give him his love, and then we're going to open up the phone line.
Sure. We're not a top 10 team. We're not essentially a top 18 team. Is because when we need to step up the most, we can't solidify anything. And that's the difference between the Clemson and an Alabama and the Notre Dame and the Miami, even North Carolina. These guys at Oklahoma State, they caught everything pretty much. I mean, they even made the quarterback, they built the quarterback out so many times on a lot of it, especially first touchdown pass. Presley, it's an effort thing. And so I understand what you're saying. You don't want to call the kids terrible, but as a coach, if they're not up to par, they're not really doing good. You may not say they're terrible, but when you grade them out, you grade them with B's and F's, essentially that's what you're saying. They didn't do very good in this game. And unfortunately, all season, if I were to grade Mark Pope and Wiggins, they'll probably have D's in my book.
I don't know what it is, man. It's extra choppy though, V12. I don't know what. I don't
Okay,
know.
let me. No, it could be me. Let me work us out. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna just, and I'm come right back.
I'll remove you. All right, real quick. I'm back in the building. I'm gonna open this up right now. I'll take a couple of phones while he's working on it. All right, here we go, man. For the open up the line, everybody asked me, what's the number, code? What's the number? Well, as soon as I press this up here, man, it better be humping right now. Because, hey, we got 150 in here. Let's get this thing to 200. If we can get it to 300, as soon as we get to 300, I'll pose the question. I'll ask it. The first one to call in gets to win the Canes Will gift card, man. So I appreciate it, like I said. I'm going to say this, too, before the calls come in. The line is open. Couldn't even get it out. Caller, talk to us. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, it's Slim Shady, Coach. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing, Slim? I appreciate you for your donation.
Ain't no problem, boss. I like I said, I just recently come across your channel, but I like a lot of what you say.
Thanks, man.
As far as the wide receiver position, and honestly, for me, this goes for the O-line too. I'm not surprised at all that the players are inconsistent and they haven't developed. They've had, and this specifically goes for Pope and Wiggins, they've had 3 wide receiver coaches, 2 head coaches, 3 offensive coordinators. How are you ever going to develop a player when you're running a system like that?
Here's my thing about it, though, Slim, and I'm gonna just say this, and I agree with you. I agree with you 1,000%. But this is where my issue with it is. Once the ball gets to you, you have to catch it. That has all those coaches are doing catching drills, jugs, and all jug machine. Like, maybe the route running has to do with consistency, the chemistry between the quarterback, the timing of the throw, of where I got to throw it. But the balls are being placed not even in the catch radius, bro. They're being placed on the jersey number, and we dropping them. Like,
oh, yeah. And I'm not saying that's the only problem. I mean, that goes back to my effort comment earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I was listening to somebody else's chat earlier, okay, and, they were blaming Mike Rump, for the corners, not getting the picks, letting all these passes come through. And I flat out said in his chat, do you want Mike Rump to go out there and turn their heads around for them? Because they're not doing it. And I guarantee you he said it till he's blue in the face.
Yeah, and I actually know Mike Rump, man, and I've seen him coach. You know what I mean? I've seen him coach. I have not had the pleasure to coach with him, but I've seen him coach. He did a great job when he was at American Heritage. I've seen him coach. He can coach. Now, I have to say this about the coaching ability. I don't know if he's being handcuffed at a certain level inside that room. I can't speculate. That's all speculation. But you're right. Like when we got the pass interference in the end zone, my man just shoulder checked that dude. He didn't even try to defend it. He just shoulder checked him to the ground and didn't even try to defend it, put his hand back, be in phase, as we call it from a DB's perspective. Like, and I know that's not being coached, and a lot of that comes, especially from the DBs, is what we call panicking. A lot of these guys panic once the ball is in the air, and once that ball becomes catchable, a lot of DBs panic because they are not in the correct phase. Now, maybe that's something they need to work on. Maybe that's due to youth. I don't know. But, you're right, though, Slim, that Coach Mike Rump can't go out there and turn his head for him. Coach can only go past the white line. All he can do is step to the white line. That's it. Nothing else he can do.
Right. And I mean, as far as, that the wide receivers just being able to catch the ball, that's why I say those aren't coaching issues. I never played past high school, but, I played it in high school. I watched plenty of it. I grew up right across the street from Clearwater High School and watched them play.
Okay.
Great program back in the 90s when I was there.
Okay. Yeah.
Proper techniques of tackling, that stuff in high school. Being in position, taking proper angles, you learn that stuff in high school. This is stuff that they should know already and should be ingrained into them that the coaches shouldn't have to go over.
I agree with you. And a lot of tackling is effort, right? Because I tell people this all the time when I was coaching, right, Slim? We can have all these perfect drills. In a football game, you might see 2 perfect tackles. The rest of them are coming from all angles. I might grab 1 foot. You saw Bubba Bolden. He swung his arm through there and flipped the quarterback on his face mask. There's no tackling drill that looks like that. No coach does a tackling drill. And when you're tackling a guy, you're trying to get him down the best way you can because nothing's going to be perfect. And it's hard to simulate those tackling drills at full speed like that without somebody getting hurt. So when you go to the head up drill, where you go head up, those are very rare, and especially the way the game is played so fast and so open. A lot of things are open field tackle, gator roll tackles. I mean, like I said, you see guys getting tackled by 1 shoe, that kind of stuff. No coach out there in the world is doing it. So I'm saying all that to say this is about player effort when it comes to tackling. That has really nothing to do with coaching. Because all coaches are doing, especially defense coaches are doing tackling drills.
Right, and I got one more thing. I'll let some other people get in. I appreciate you taking my call.
No problem.
I'm in the minority. I actually don't want to get rid of Blake Baker or any of the defensive staff because I still live by the philosophy. I understand times have changed in college football. Everybody wants to win now, but the process doesn't change. Blake Baker's only in his 2nd year, and they have gone from what Manny was running, an aggressive 4-3, to more the soft man 3-2-5, and you saw it perfectly in this game when they went back to more of an aggressive 4-3 play calling. They shut Oklahoma State down in the second and third quarter.
Right.
So I think it's more along the lines of, okay, you've switched defensive schemes on them. They have to get the players in for those schemes because, the linebackers we had, you're going to run bigger, stronger, slower linebackers for an aggressive 4-3. But now you're trying to get those guys to drop into coverage on a slot receiver or something. And they're too big to keep up with a slot receiver. So I think he has to be given the time to get the players in for his system. And the same goes for the offense as well.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I mean, I've talked about scheme to death. I'm not sure, we could talk about that again, but I'm going to let V12, if you want to jump in right quick, if you have anything to say to Slim.
Hey, Slim. V12.
Yes, sir.
To me, Blake Baker made some adjustments tonight. And I believe that if he can continue to make some adjustments, that he could probably keep his job. I said earlier today, I don't want to fire anyone prematurely. But tonight, if you're okay with the points that Oklahoma's scoring, the points that North Carolina scored, and just majority of the teams all year, I mean, we gave up too many yards and too many points this year. And I guess the question to you is, how long should Blake Baker be there? Because most head coaches don't get 4 and 5 years to kind of right a ship. Randy Shannon got 4. I think Al Golden had 4 or 5. And after a while, D'Onofrio, I think, had maybe 2 or 3 years, if that. So Blake Baker's he's going up on his ceiling right now. It's going to be his 3rd year. So like, how long is when do we say enough is enough and try to bring someone else in who can probably help motivate these guys and instruct them to be better and play better?
Okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll answer that question with another question.
Okay, that's fair.
How many Clemson fans wanted to fire the entire coaching staff for the first 5 years Dabo was there?
I would guess a lot. However, the improvements that Dabo made over the years, in the beginning, Dabo took over a team that was empty. If you go back to that Clemson team that Dabo took over, those cupboards were empty. His recruiting was down, and he had essentially no star players. Over the years, people bought into that program. He brought in the right coaches. Brent Venables is one of the most talented defensive coordinators in the land. He makes head coach money at Clemson. So if we're seeing improvement in defense, that's a different situation. That's my response to you. We're seeing an improvement in the like for me. Red Lashley has done well. This is his first year. We've seen a major improvement in the offense. Now the defense is the issue. So until we see some improvement in the defense, I don't know what we do. Do we ride this thing out with Baker for 5 years? I mean, Manny won't have a job in 5 years. If the rate he's going right now, he won't have a job in 5 years.
I mean, my whole thing about it, is about progression, right? Is as long as you see, my thing is I understand the win and loss game, right? But as long as you see progression, that's the difference, right? And so let's just say this. You saw that offensively, the progression. Yeah, there was some hit and miss. You saw that with the receivers. Okay, and then they kind of got it. They got the chemistry. I got all that. I understand all that. My issue is when you revert back to, that's where the problem lies. So long as there's progression, I'm okay with it. But when I start seeing the graph doing this, that's when it becomes a problem. So that's all. I just want to say that piece. Go ahead, Slim.
Well, on his point that the offense was better, no, it really wasn't. De'Aaron King was really and truly the only difference in this offense. We're running a read option, which is the same thing Dan Enos ran, the same thing Mark Richt was running. We just have a more competent quarterback. And honestly, I'm wondering even how much more competent because, Malik Rozier's touchdowns and yardage were very similar to De'Aaron King's. Mm-hmm. And as far as, the progression win at Clemson, I mean, they lost to South Carolina 5 years in a row. So it was, year 6 before you're really seeing progression there. Now, I'm not saying necessarily give them 6 years because there is more talent here. But that goes back to, like I said, you are changing the defense you're running and the players you have don't fit it. So you have to get in the players that fit it.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. You make a valid point. Point. But that is the art of coaching, right? So the art of coaching is not to say like the water boy. Remember the coach had the little green notebook, and that's all he if without that notebook he couldn't coach. And so what happens is the art of coaching is, especially when you take a brand new job, you have to be able to alter your calls, your plays, your philosophy a little bit until you can grab those pieces from the recruiting pool to get it to exactly what you want. But as you come in, you have to go in and evaluate all those players and say, okay, I need a striker that does X, Y, and Z. But right now he's doing A, B, and C. I need to alter that until I can recruit a guy that can do X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Scott?
It does. And as a matter of fact, he did that this year, excuse me, because last year, Romeo Finley was too big to play that position. That's why he got a guy like Gilbert Frierson playing it this year.
Right. And that's all we're saying. So and all I'm saying, Slim, at the end of the day, I just want to see, I'm not calling for Blake Baker's job. I'm really not. I'm not. You know what I mean? But I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to be very honest with you. Next year, I'm being honest. If I see the same thing that's creating the engine light coming on, I'm calling for it. I'll be the first one to tell you that right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, and I mean, I respect that completely. I look at it from this perspective. You know, we're looking for a defense and basically a team that can be a top 10 contender, in year 3 next year? I mean, who's done that outside of Nick Saban, who's a Hall of Famer? And we're expecting that out of a head coach that's on his first ever head coaching job and a defensive coordinator that's in his first Power 5 job.
Right. No, I got you. I got you. I mean, like I said, this is the beauty of football, man. And I'm going to let you go out there because they're jumping on me. This is the beauty of football I like about it. There's no one right answer. This is such a complex. That's why you can have shows like this, and you could talk for 3-4 hours and still not really pinpoint it with a finger exactly what's wrong. This is the most complex sport there is. There's so many moving parts. You know, it's not like basketball where one coach coaches offense and defense. You know, that kind of deal. He only got 2 assistant coaches. I mean, you see the sidelines, they loaded with damn people, man. So yeah, I totally agree, man.
Hey, Slim, before you go, and I'm going to measure the progression on defense. I'm not asking for a top 5 defense. I'm not even asking for a top 10 defense. At least put us in around middle of the road, maybe a top 15, top 20 defense to match that powerful offense that we have. Once you start to see progression to that extent, I think then we're talking about keeping, Baker and a real progression in the University of Miami's defense. I'm talking these are top 20 defense. That's all I'm asking for next year. Hopefully we can get that. And if we can get that, I think I'll be content with the top 20 defense. But I think that's a pretty decent defense, don't you think?
Oh, I completely agree. And I think giving him a couple of years, he'll probably have it back up there where Manny had. That's just my opinion on it.
That's fair. Good stuff.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all taking my call.
No problem. Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, so real quick, man, we got a lot of comments, man. People jumping in here. Brother James is open right now. Go ahead and try and make that call. You say you tried to call, man. So I appreciate you, Brother James. Like I said, if somebody's in, I don't think it'll let you call in. But anyhow, a lot of people in there talking. They're making some people are saying, let me see. H.H. Marlowe says, that's why we suck. People putting up with being average. I'm telling you, H.H. Marlowe, I'm with you. I understand. We can all have expectations. We can all have man, look, we could talk to we blue in the face till the cows come home and pigs fly. But there's a lot of things, bro, that, like I said, it's not there's some things on here that I don't want to say because I feel like ethically, I don't want to say that about other programs. But when we talk about those major programs, there's some coaching in there. There's some other things going on in there too. I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all seen that movie with Shaquille O'Neal and was it Chris Mullin was in that movie and Penny Hardaway was in that movie. I'm gonna leave it at that. If I got the right cast members. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Shaquille O'Neal, I think it was Chris Mullin, Penny Hardaway. There's some of that stuff going on. Now let me answer you, man. Go ahead, V12. You got anything to say right quick? Because I got a call coming in. It's just not letting me answer. I don't know why it's not letting me answer it.
Yeah, with respect to the culture, I will say this. The University of Miami, we did show some fight tonight. It looked ugly in the beginning. And I was happy to see that it wasn't going to be a similar type of game that was played against North Carolina. I think once we got the ball rolling and last year got into an offensive groove, the play calling was, I would say, pretty good tonight. But like the caller said, and the person left a comment, we can't be average. Like, we don't have an average school. That's not how we were built. And yes, the expectations are high, but if you're a Miami fan and you are okay with this game tonight, then we really got to reevaluate. If you're a Miami fan, because that wasn't a game that I know that we could play. And even with King going down, you have Nkosi who steps in. He played brilliantly.
Yeah. Well, we got a caller. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you're calling from.
Coach V12, how y'all doing, man? I'm Juan. I'm straight out of Sunrise, Florida.
Juan, what's up, Juan?
Been here for a very long time.
What's
Can
up,
you hear
Juan?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What's going on, Juan, man? Appreciate you calling in.
All right. The reason I called is because I've listened to you guys' podcast before, and I feel a lot of the things that you have said before in the past. So when I watch this game, I watch this game with expectation of the things that you guys have preached in the past. And honestly, I saw a 21-0 start. All right. So a 21-0 start is a hard deficit to try to overcome. It's a 4-quarter game. It's not a 4-quarter game. So I love my Canes, man, but to see them trying to come up and not, and then I see the comments, oh, Pope didn't catch the ball. Yeah, I seen Pope didn't catch the ball so many times. Wiggins didn't catch the ball. Yeah, I seen Wiggins didn't catch the ball so many times. But what has been the problem for so many years? Do you see, Coach V12, do you see any development in our recruiting classes that makes these players do these type of things to where we don't start 21-0? Or is it a coach, or is it a defensive coaching scheme? Because offensive scheme was not the problem, because you saw Perry come in and he balled. So you tell me, and I'm asking you all, what is the problem here? What did you see in the game? What was the problem? Was it the players? Yeah, dropping the balls. Yeah, I heard that hurt. Oh my gosh! Is it a development of these 5-star, 4-star players that we can't get the 5-star, 4-star out of them? Please tell me. I'm gonna mute my phone.
All right. I'm gonna start off first, and then I'll let V12 jump on in here. Like I said, tonight was a culmination of both. I think it was some players, there was some scheme in there. And I'm gonna just say this too, and some people are not going to agree with me on this, but I don't care, because I know I've been a coach in here 20 years. For Miami, the University of Miami, we are not getting the cream of the crop in our own backyard. Okay. But we're looking at guys like Pope and Harley, and I'm not downing them at one iota. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm talking about getting the elite players from your, think about it. We are literally in the Mecca. We are in the Mecca of recruiting, and we're not getting those guys.
I agree.
Alabama is coming here, and it started way back from the Dwayne Bowe days going to LSU, Terrell McGill going to LSU, Eiley Highsmith going to LSU, Courtney Dennison going to Auburn, Max Gene Phillips from North Miami Beach going to Georgia. When that floodgate opened, we were not elite, right? And I'm going to just say this, and I'm not here to knock anybody. Max Gene Gillis goes to Georgia, but we ended up with Chris Rutledge. Chris Rutledge can play football, but he wasn't Max Gene Gillis. You understand that? We were not getting the elite of the elite. Bring it 20 years forward. Now that's back 01, 02, 03. Bring it 20 years forward. Ja'Cory Brooks is going to Alabama, right? He's leaving. The elite of the elite. We're getting kids like which is not a knock, but we're getting guys like Brashard Smith. I love the guy. But then look at the Pope we're getting. We don't have a 6'3", 220-pound back receiver out there. got Brevin Jordan, who's technically a tight end. We don't have an Andre Johnson out there. We're not getting the elite of the elite guys anymore. We're getting the second tier guys that can play. Don't get me wrong, but they're not true difference makers. You understand? And so I just wanted to put that out there. That is why that is happening. So I don't care about them stars. And I'm going to tell you why I don't care about them stars, because most of the people that's ranking them stars, most of them dudes have not coached. I don't even care about playing. They haven't coached. They are based on height. They are based on the eye test and the hype around them. That's how you get a star. They're not looking at ability, because let me ask you a question. If stars truly mattered, and I'm going to put this out here and I'm going to say this to you because I've been talking, I want to give people the time. If stars truly matter, how in the world does a kid go from a 3-star to a 5-star during the offseason and no camps during COVID? There were no football camps during COVID. There was nothing. How does he go from being a 3-star to a 5-star? You know how that happens? Hype. Now, one time has he stepped foot on the field from the last season to this season, and he goes from being a 3-star. Now he's a 5-star. Why? Because he's 6'3", 200, whatever, but he hasn't produced, and nobody has seen him produce. There's a bunch of dudes sitting in the office saying, okay, I like this guy. He's 6'5". He fits the prototypical chart, blah, 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 blah. He runs such and such 40-yard dash, blah, 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 blah. He's a 5-star now. Or they base him on a 5-star based on how he gets recruited. Who recruits him? That doesn't make you a 5-star. Sorry. Just because I drive a Corvette don't make me Andretti. You understand that? That's what I'm trying to say. Just because I drive a NASCAR don't make me a race car driver.
But let me ask you something real quick. Okay, yeah. I understand all that. Trust me, I understand how stars are sometimes given to people who shouldn't be, right? What I'm saying is, how come we have 4-stars, even 3-stars, coach? Even 3-stars, but we don't develop them? Why? What is the reason behind that? Because look at our NFL talent right now who graduated from the class before. What are they at? Or the class before that? Or the 2017 class where our defense was so balling. Where are they at? My question is more of, are we really, do we have a coach that can develop, whether it's defense, offense, special teams, whatever the case may be? Do we have these coaches, these positioning coaches on staff that can develop these 3-stars, 4-stars, maybe even 2 or 5-star, or some NFL talent? That's my point.
I got you.
It's not the star system. I get the star system is jacked up.
Your phone is going out. Go ahead again.
My bad. It's not the star system. It's do we have our coaches on this team that can develop into better stars, into NFL talent, which will show on the field right here.
I'm with you, V2. I'm gonna let you go ahead and answer, and then I'm gonna ask. I just want to put that out there because I know a lot of times we talk about 4 or 5-star guys, but V2, go ahead, you answer that, and then I'll go ahead and finish it out.
Well, Juan, from my perspective, these players. I mean, you have to have players from 3-stars all around, because they're not enough 5-stars. They're not enough 4-stars. So you have to sprinkle them in there. And just because you're a 3-star doesn't mean you can't play. And to your point of development, I'm not sure what Mark Pope was or Wiggins was coming, but they probably were 3 or 4. And I'm sure that during practice, they're developing. During practice, they're running routes, they're catching the ball, they're using the jug machine. Unfortunately, it's not translating on the football field, and that's an issue. I don't know how much more development the coaches can instill, but sometimes players, they have to want to get better themselves. Because here's my thing. Every pass that Pope dropped hit him in the shoulder pads. It didn't hit him in the hands. He doesn't catch with his hands. That's one issue that I see with Pope right off the bat. I play receiver. Even when Mike Harley dropped the punt, The point hit him in the shoulder pad. Wiggins, I'm not sure what's going on from his perspective. Ball hit him in the hands. He's not concentrating. He's not looking the ball into his hands. He's guessing. And so the development, I agree, comes from the coach, but also it has to come from the player. It has to come from, hey Wiggins, hey Brevin, hey Pope, let's get it on this off season. Let's get on the beach, or let's hit this machine very well. Because when you see Pope, the games he played well in, he caught the ball with his hands. The games that he dropped major passes in, he catch it again with his shoulder pads. And the difference between a top 10 team and a Miami team or a top 5 team is that when it counts, they don't make the big mistake. They don't make the big drop. They make it when it counts. And that's what we're missing. We're missing that fighter mentality that we always had and that winning mentality that we're the best receivers on the field. When Wiggins dropped the pass, he put his head down. You know, when Brevin, let me tell you the difference between Wiggins and Brevin. When Brevin makes a mistake, he claps it up. You know what? He has confidence. I'm going back at it. I'm going to make the play. I'm going to make the catch. These other guys, they're hitting the turf. They're acting like, you know, it's the end of the world. You drop a pass, let's keep it moving. So it goes from both sides. It goes from a coach's perspective and also the player. A player has to want to develop themselves and seek out other coaches. Let's say, for example, Peyton Manning had one of the best QB coaches out there, but in the offseason he sought out another QB coach to get him better. So when you see most of these players, they seek out other coaches outside. They get with another group, and then they practice against each other to get better. So progression, not only from a coaching standpoint, but from a player standpoint, you have to invest in yourself. And I think Miami's players have to start investing in themselves as well.
I agree, man.
Me too, man. You made a great point. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Now, so we said development. I agree with you 100%. So then when does the coach make the call to pull him?
To pull who, the player?
Whoever's not showing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna answer that one. All right, Juan, do me a favor. It's something with your connection. Maybe you're in a shady area. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to fix that because I'm going to give a shout out to a guy who just donated. So get to a clear area, and I definitely want to talk about that because that's huge. All right, if you don't mind. All right, real quick, man, big shout out to Chuck Mobile. He donated a while back. I didn't want to break the conversation, but he says, Coach Hayes, Manny's defense has gotten worse every year since 2017. What is it enough? The defense philosophy has to change. Do you think we will change it? Need better coaches on defense. So I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. As soon as Juan, I think he's going to get his stuff straight, I'm going to go ahead and hit you up right now, man. Chuck Mobile, I appreciate, man. You always look out for me, man. Thank you so much. I can't Chuck Mobile. I got some Bobby Brown in my glass. All right, man, we got, hold on real quick. We got another one in here, man. Y'all got it going. Hurricane Millie, what's up with you for the $4.99? Appreciate you saying Wiggins is thinking about dropping the ball when it's in the air. That's why he's not catching it. All right, so I appreciate you on that too, man. Thank you so much.
I agree with Hurricane Millie. A lot of our players are just trying to take the ball to the end zone before they catch the ball.
So let me ask you a question, Juan. Let me ask you a question because you brought up a very good point about when do you pull them. Here's the difference, right? You talk about stock. I always talk about stockpiling players. I said this in the pregame show. When you have a stable of players, that also creates development, right? Second is, to Hurricane Millie's point, that right there shows you the difference between a 5-star. Because see, to me, 5-star means elite. It shouldn't be a bunch of 5 stars out there. It should be a handful. That's elite, bro. Elite dudes. They're not thinking about that. Amari Cooper not thinking about that. Jerry Jeudy not thinking about that. Andre Johnson wasn't thinking about that. Santana Moss wasn't thinking about that. Michael Irvin never thought about. They caught the doggone ball. They weren't looking at like that one. I forgot who it was. Hit him dead in the hands. He dropped.
Wiggins, yeah.
Wiggins. Wiggins
dropped a couple, man.
Yeah, but I'm talking about. And let's be honest, we don't have a receiver right now that's a 50-50 ball guy. We don't have a guy that's going to go up there and I'm coming down with this ball or ain't nobody coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got guys that's fight, hopefully it'll fall into their hands, blah, blah, blah. We don't have a guy that's going up there and snatching it out the air.
It looks like they're surprised that they hit him right in the hand.
And that's what I'm saying. So when we talk about development, that's another thing. You said, when do you pull them? Well, the question is, do we have enough in the stable? Let's be honest, because we don't know this. Who do you bring in now? Restrepo? I forgot his name. I don't want to jack his name. Restrepo. Right? Restrepo. Do you bring him in? I'm asking. So do you take your chances with
at the slot? Yeah, I'll bring him in. I'll bring anyone in there who can at least show me something at this point in time that we can see a future. Remember, we don't always play. I get it. All the college kids, they're just playing. That's all they're doing is playing. But as a fan, we're seeing it like we need to see something for the future. These dudes gonna graduate, they're gone, and it's over. And I love them for it. Thank you for playing in Miami, but we need to see a future. So yes, I'll play Restrepo in. Yes, I'll play. Oh my gosh, what's Redding in? My goodness, where was Redding at, bro? I didn't see him.
I'm all for it.
Yes, I would play all of them.
I'm all for it.
So what I'm saying is, okay, not development, no problem. It's not development. I got it. It's these guys that just didn't do it, didn't make the play. But bro, where's the talent that you're promising me for 2021?
I got you.
That's all I'm saying.
You're 100% right, man. And that's the part I said earlier about the inconsistency, bro. We are so inconsistent that we don't know what we're going to get this week. Are we going to get the guys that's catching everything? Or are we going to get the guys that, like Vitor just said, we're going to let the ball hit them square in the shoulder pad? I mean, we're talking about open passes, bro. This is major college football. Like 5 yards in front of a DB is super wide open. A step in front of
we're talking about grown men missing those passes, dog.
Grown men. Talking about
it's no longer high school recruits. It's grown men missing these open passes, and that's what was upsetting to me.
Juan, let me tell you what the difference is, and you brought up a great point too, Juan. To Coach Hayes' point about development too, because development is huge. Like Coach said, it's all about who you have in your stable too. And a prime example we saw tonight, that receiver Wallace played the first half of that game only. That guy is going to the pros. He pulled himself out. He didn't want to get hurt. I think after De'Aaron King got hurt, he didn't come in the second half. But the receiver Presley, did you realize he only caught one pass this season? And he comes into a Miami-led defense and he catches 6 passes for 118 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's called development. That's called watching. That's called learning. And he went up to Coach's point, 50-50 balls. He caught 4 50-50 balls, 4 of them. The first one over the DB, the other one, the slant, he got hit and he got into the end zone. So you have to have the will and the determination as well to want to be better. And I don't know Wiggins, and I don't know Pope personally, but I would hope that Duggins, who was an excellent receiver at Florida State, if I remember correctly back in the day, I don't know if it's necessarily coaching. You got to try to invest in yourself and get better on the off season because they're not in football 365. You got to be able to invest in yourself, and we can tell. It'll be interesting to find out how many receivers get with King in the off season or go to other programs to get better outside of Miami football. Not only when you're a football player at 365, not only during the season. And sometimes it shows when you get on that football field.
Right, man. Well, real quick, man. Hey, Juan, I appreciate you got my line jumping right now, but thank you, man. I appreciate you watching so much, man. You're more than welcome to call back in. I just see my line hopping off over here, man.
No, my brothers, I appreciate that. Y'all have a good night, okay? I'm going to stay on top.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, real quick, man. We got 2 big donations here. One time for Bergie in the house, man. He says, Coach, don't even get me started about not fighting for the ball. The play early in the game where Pope gave up on the pass drove me nuts. Yet they gave Keyshawn 1 target all game. Unreal. You're 100% right about that. And so I appreciate that $10 chat, Bergie. And also, D. Manuel says, do you think these coaches base their depth chart on seniority rather than talent development? From the player standpoint, I'm concerned on work ethic, culture, and these kids don't even have the dog attitude. You know, I'm going to give you guys a shout out at the end because I don't want to keep breaking the cycle here. So thank you guys so much for that donation, man. Thank you all. But real quick, I'm going to answer that, especially D. Manuel's question. I'll put it back up so you guys see it. I don't know what they do so far as their depth chart, right? Some coaches are like that. Some coaches are based on seniority. I was always based on productivity, right? I believe on people who produce. You know what I mean? I always had a saying. I used to tell my player, I got favoritism for those who ball, you know? And I learned that from a dear old friend of mine, passed away, Coach Jack. You know Coach Jack, man.
Scott Lake, rest in peace, Coach Jack. We miss you, man. Man,
Coach,
man. Hey, Coach Jack, man. Hey, listen, man. Hey, if y'all in the Miami area, Scott Lake, y'all know Coach Jack is a legend on that part. I mean, hey, we miss you, Coach, man. Coach that New Orleans Scott Lake, man. Shout out Coach Jack. I played at Scott Lake. Man, I miss that, man. And now you talking about a coach. That's a coach's coach right there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, please.
So, but yeah, man, but Coach Jack always taught, he said, man, I got favoritism for those who ball. And that's what you need to have. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? This is a business, bro. When you go to college, you employee number 8, employee number 10, employee 57, whatever your number is. So that's one thing. The second part he says in here, it says, rather than development, I want somebody to call in because I'm very curious, right? We throw a lot of these catchphrases around and we throw a lot of things around. I want somebody to call in, right? Brother James, I see you trying to call in. The line is open, I believe. Anyway, I'm gonna open the line up again. Sometime it goes out. But anyway, we throw a lot of these catchphrases out here, man, like to fire Blake Baker, this, that, and the other. I always told people, if you want to do that, I have no other problem in doing that. Let's do it. But if you're going to do it, always have a solution to the issue, right? So here's my deal about it. I want somebody to define to me, not us, V12. I want to answer this. When they say develop these players, what does that mean? Because I want to see if everybody's consistent about what do they mean by developing players. Because here's the deal. Bro, you dropping a ball that hit you in the chest, that's not development. That's on the player. See, developing players getting off the route, being where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. If you get caught on the jam, knowing how to stem a route, knowing how to shrug off a defensive lineman when you're getting caught up, knowing how to take on the wrong arm block. All those type of things are development. But when it comes to I'm in the hole with you to make the tackle and you run me over, that's not development. That's want to. And so those are the questions. So like I said, when we talk about developing players, what does that exactly mean? And I want to hear it from the fan base what that exactly means, because I hear it all the time. Want to develop players. Well, that's an umbrella term. Well, I want to hear what developing players actually means. So that's just kind of where I am right now. So I would love for somebody to call in. The phone line is open. You're more than welcome. Call on in. And thank you guys again for those donations, man. I'm not going to touch it until somebody calls in and lets me know that. We at 240 now in the chat. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get this thing going. I don't know how many likes I got. Somebody let me know how many likes I got right now. We're trying to get at least 200 likes. I don't know what it is. Let's find out what it is. All right. Bottom 11, call right now. You said phone line jumping. I can't get in. Yeah, man. Sometimes when they call in, they get locked up. So go ahead and call right now. I always got to shoot my little soldier out. What's up with you, JK? What's up, coach, man? Hey, I always tell him, get in the bed, man. It'd be too late for you, man. This HBO hour, man. Get in the bed, man. Here we go. We got a call coming in. Call and talk to us. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Brother James.
Brother James, what's up with you, man? You finally made it in.
Yeah, man. man. I'm at work, man, and I'm in DC right now.
Okay, yeah, I saw the 202. Okay, what's up with you?
Ain't nothing, hey man. Hey man, it's a lot of things that a lot of people say. I've been listening, and we got to tackle the problem up top first. Is they need to put the money in the program. That's one.
Yes, sir.
But I heard the question. You said development. Is muscle memory, hand-eye coordination. Is developing players having patience with a young player, especially if he's a pup, and having the experience to do it. Now, we know, a lot of people, I'm hearing people, they mentioning the problems, but they ain't coming up, like you said, with the solutions.
Sure.
It's definitely need for a new coaching change.
In what area?
Now,
what area?
On the defensive side of the ball.
Okay, but what do you mean?
Now,
tell me exactly.
Now they done invested in Manny Diaz because Manny Diaz definitely had passion for UM, but he's in a new position. He only is his second year at the head coaching job, so he's on a job learning. It's going to take time, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people in his ears. Now I'm watching Manny Diaz controlling the clock, doing things that a head coach supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Overall evaluation of the team, clock management, down the distance, stuff like that. I'm looking at what Manny Diaz is doing. Now, he done made some good moves, and then he done did some bad things. Last year he brought in Rhett Lashley, and this year he need to make some changes. Everybody know that. That's just a blind fact. People just watching. It's patience. The patience as a fan base and as a U family is real short. So we in the win. We want to get back to that winning mode.
Right. So, Brother James, I want to ask you a question. But hold on, I want to ask you a question, Brother James, because I'm gonna do this from now on. Like I said earlier, if we have a problem, if you raise a problem in the boardroom, you better be prepared to have a solution. So we fire Blake Baker. That's what you're saying, right?
Right.
What's your solution? Who do we bring in?
Bring in another experienced defensive coordinator. Now, I like T-Rob. I mean, I like a lot.
I need names. I need names. I don't need vagueness. I want names.
There you go. You put me on the spot, coach.
That's because guess what?
I got to do my research with that.
Well, that's my problem. That's my point, now, right? Because hold on. That's my point.
But to understand that you need a defensive coordinator is definitely a factor. Now, who that person is, that take time and research. Now, we got the time on the off season to do that.
No, but
to understand that you do need one, that's it. Now, I like T-Rob. There's a couple of people names that's out there that I like. But me liking them, that's a different story, and bringing them in, But
I like to ask that question because I just think it makes guys think. Because a lot of times, we can always say, "I don't like this. I don't like this," right? Especially we'll do it in relation. We'll do it in relationships, especially. Man, my girl make me sick. Man, blah blah blah. As soon as somebody say why, like, because she do. You know what I'm saying? So I would like people to say is, if we got a problem, I have no problem with that. I'm for firing Blake Baker, right? But what's your solution?
Right.
Until people can present a reasonable and fair solution, right now that's what you got. Like I said, keep people talking about Muschamp. Muschamp ain't coming here. He's sitting on the couch making $21 million. He's not gonna come here for $600,000.
He right about that.
He's not gonna come here for. Why would you come to the University of Miami for $600,000 to $800,000? Why would you do that?
That's another factor. The paying these coaches coming in too, and you want to keep the continuity of the team. When you bring in a whole new defensive staff. If you bring in a defensive coordinator, they're gonna want their own staff, and that's a factor too. So,
Definitely.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to look at, but there are some names that's floating, you know, and I just definitely want to see change when it comes to that defensive side of the ball. Now, again, we done put our time into Manny, and a lot of people. There's some people out there want Manny gone, but I think Manny you give Manny a chance at the head coaching job for this is second year. Now it's different from him being a defensive coordinator than him coaching, you know, the defense. Now he in another position, you know, in that position, a head coach and a defensive coordinator is two different positions. Sometimes people try to do both, and that's when they mess up.
Yeah, listen, it's a total different skill set. So V12, you got anything to respond to my man?
Yeah, I think Bro James he brought up a point that I took very well. He said you have to acknowledge that there's a problem on defense before we even get to who's going to be the person. So I respect that point, because right now I don't know if Manny has acknowledged that publicly that we have a problem with the defense, but it's a glaring problem. So until he acknowledges it, and we discussed it on the pregame show, Coach, and have that sit down with Blake Baker. Sometimes it may not be that he may need to fire Blake. He may need to put him at another position. That's what the head coach does, right? They kind of find out where your coaches fit in best. Just like how coaches try to find out where the players fit in best. A head coach to kind of find out where the coaches fit in best. And right now, I don't think defensive coordinator is where Blake Baker fits in best. So something has to be done. Like I said in the pregame, I'm not calling for his head at this particular point in time, but there has to be some adjustments made, and we have to try to figure out how to rectify this defense that's atrocious. It's not even close.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, bro, James, I'm here.
Did we lose him?
Hello. I think I done lost you, Coach.
We here. Can you hear?
We got you loud and clear. Dipped on us.
Hello.
Yeah, we here, man. I'm gonna go in and cut him off. I guess he off right now. Anyway, I guess we lost him. But yeah, man. So that's what I'm saying. That's a valid point, man. People saying they trying to call in. Hey, man, the line's busy. These people got something on their mind. I'm trying to get this thing to 300 people in the chat. We at 209. Let's get this thing going, man, so we can make it happen. So I can give y'all this gift card, man. I'm trying to get this gift card out, and let's get over 100 likes on this deal, man. Let's make it happen. I saw Bergie had his comment. Bergie had his comment up, so he was talking about some. Here we go. Rolling in V12. Hey, we hot tonight. Call and talk to us. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, man? This is Magic City Kane, bro.
Magic City Kane, my man, is in the building.
That's right, bro. I'm from the bottom. I've been a Kane since 79.
Yes, so
what we need is to go back to the field, just like Michael Irvin them used to do, police each other and hone your skills together. That's what you need to do without the coaches. And you need to get out there and play ball and stop with I'm only gonna do what the coach tell me to do. No, when them boys messed up, them boys they went to their head. Them boys wasn't playing back in the day. They honed their skills. They got out there and they played each other, man, and made each other better. Iron sharpened iron.
As man sharpens man. Yes, sir.
And there you go. So what I've seen tonight is we had a lot of questions about the coach. He showed us something. You understand me? But on the flip side of that, we got some holes we need to fill. And they need to stop being scared to put these young boys in there that's hungry and give them a chance. We ain't gonna know what they do if you don't put them on the field.
Yeah, I agree. V12, I'm gonna let you go ahead I'm gonna let you charge that one first, V12.
No, that's an excellent point. You know, there's always a debate going on. Someone was always a senior is before a junior or sophomore because, quote unquote, they waited their time. But I agree with what Coach said. If you're producing on the field, if you're a senior and you get beat out, I come. You said you said Madison City Cane. You've been a Canes fan since 1979. I come from an era where we played the Scott Lakes and the Carroll Cities and the North Dades, and you had people. If you were, if you were a 90 pounder and you play 85 and you could play at 90 pounds, they brought you up and you played. So the point is, you got to get out there and play. So it shouldn't be about favoritism. Shouldn't be about the person, is a senior. If these guys are out here, if they could perform, listen. If you're a senior and you get beat out by a junior or sophomore, that's on you. That shouldn't be on the coaching staff. And the coaching staff got to start to recognize that. Let's mix it up a little bit, because I don't know. I know Pope and Wiggins are juniors, but I see a lot of other receivers that snap on film. They don't get an opportunity. And hopefully this game should have been a game to evaluate talent. My thing is, like I told Coach in the beginning, I'm not sure if you heard the beginning of the conversation, this game should have been a game to evaluate talent. Put Pope on it. We had nothing to prove. We knew the defense was bad anyway. You put these other guys in from an offensive standpoint and see what we have. We know Brevin Jordan is a stud. We know Mallory is a stud. We need to put other guys in and give them a shot so we can see, like the one caller said, Juan, he said about Juan saying about having the development. That's how you develop your players as well. Put them in pressure situation and game time situations. So I agree with you. We need to go back to old school, player-led, player-call practices, 7-on-7s without the coaches being there. And I don't know about going upside the head. Nowadays you get sued for that. But, you get into somebody's face a little bit. You know what I mean? You feel me? Madison City Cane?
Like Wholesome said last night, the C ain't for captain the C for community. We need to get away from that, bro. The thing is, you know your playbook, offense and defense. You got to learn your playbook in order to play, right? So the captains need to take these boys out there on the field, and y'all need to practice when the coaches ain't there. You got to hone your skills. When these boys came up in Miami and Coach Schnellenberger took the top off Miami, bruh, these boys was honing their skills. They wasn't playing. They wanted to be great. You understand? Don't just put on a UM helmet because, I'm going to ride the coattail of UM. You got to go out there and make it. You gotta stand up to what that U stands for. You understand?
But you know what I'm saying?
On defense. Go ahead, bro. What you saying?
But I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm gonna tell you what people need to say. Manuel Soto had a great point. Says if you're good enough, you're old enough, and you're 100% right, man. But I'm gonna say this, man. What I don't want to do is I'm gonna put this on the coaches about a piece of this. I'm gonna hear what I'm saying. If you're a coach and you recruit, and I went through this issue before when I was coaching. I had a coach ask me, man, coach, why you didn't tell me player X didn't do this, that, or the other? And you know what my response to him was? That ain't my job. My job is to answer the questions in which you ask. If you don't do your due diligence as a college coach, finding out who these guys you're bringing in, that's your fault. You understand me? And so I go to say this. Player X that I'm talking about would never run a slant across the middle. I knew that. His highlight film never showed that. But they wanted him to do that when he got to college. And they wanted me to tell him, brother, you the one making 6-7 figures out here. Bro, I'm a high school coach making peanuts, and you want me to do your job for you? Negative. You asked me to see, because my job is to get them out the building. My job is not to hinder a kid. I'm never going to. Here's one thing I did as a coach. I was never going to hurt one of my players, but I was going to answer questions truthfully. If you ask me a question, I'm going to answer it truthfully, but I'm not going to divulge information unless you ask for it. I'm not going to do your job for you, because my job as a coach is to get them out the building, to get them opportunity at the next level. That's not lying to you. I'm just not going to do your job for you. So I said all that to say this. If you are not doing your due diligence as a college coach, finding out if those are the type of character kids you're bringing in the building, that's your fault as a coach. If you, like V12 said, if you go to ask the coach, hey, coach, man, does Johnny like to work out after practice? Johnny, like, hey, Johnny on Saturday, what does he do? On Sundays, what does he do? Does he have a group chat? He in charge of it? Does he get his high school players together? See, that's doing your due diligence as a coach, finding out the kind of guy you get. Because, see, some guys get caught up with the athletic ability because they the baddest dude at their school, but that don't mean you the baddest dude in the land. And then when you get to college, you get ruined because you getting your behind toe up over there. And so I just wanted to put that out there to you, was that, we can tell the kids, but you're asking somebody to do something that they've never done. I'm not saying they can't be taught and instilled, but you want to get that kind of stuff in a kid when you first recruiting him. I want to find if he a dude that'll go work out by himself. Do we have to be told? Do I have to tell him to work out? You saw that J.J. Watt comment he was saying the other day. I don't know if you saw, but he was talking about, I don't care what our record is. We got to still work out. We still got to do what we got to do.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So, yeah, man. Hey, they killing me in the
quick questions, man, and I'm gonna let it go. The turnover chain, bruh, all the showboating, they need to get away from it until they earn it. And another thing, we do have a beast come in, but I got a feeling they're gonna put him at striker. When you did your tapes on him, you were saying he catch the ball effortlessly. They got him playing defense and he coming in his 21 class. He's 6'4", 220. You know who I'm talking about.
J-Dub.
I think he's gonna be a beast, and they need to get him right.
Mm-hmm. But now here's the deal. I'm gonna just say something. Due diligence. Okay, here we go. This is a prime example. I'm gonna let you go because we got people calling in.
No problem.
He's 6'5", 220 right now. Everybody in love with this, right? We in love with the diamond. But have we checked the clarity on the diamond? Have we checked is there any flaws in the diamond? See, we see a big old diamond and we like, man, this worth a lot of money. But when you take a deeper look into that diamond, it's got all type of flaws and scratches and it ain't cut right and all that kind of stuff. So it's devalued. I'm just trying to make an analogy. I don't know much about diamonds, but you get what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say about this young man. He pretty on the health now. You look at him, 6'5", 220 safety. Ooh.
No. I ain't talking about James Williams. I'm talking about the other kid that played defensive end.
Oh, you talking about Chase Smith?
Yes.
Yes, Lord. Hey, I like Chase Smith. Yes, Lord.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hold on. I'm sorry. But anyway, let me go back. I'm gonna go back to the James Williams because everybody's on him. But I'm not knocking James Williams at all as a player. I'm just using him as an example as coaches doing their due diligence on a young man.
Yeah. I'm talking about Chase Smith as a receiver, dude.
I don't think so, man. I mean, because here it is. V12, I'm sorry, bro.
You okay?
But I'm saying receivers come dime a dozen, right? But a dude that bro, because I'm gonna tell you why I say that, bro. Look who the cats in the NFL making $100 million, game changers. Who are they? Quarterbacks, defensive ends. Ray Lewis ain't even making $100 million. Name me a safety making $100 million. Antonio Brown, as good as he was, never made $100 million. No corner making $100. The defensive ends and quarterbacks make $100 million consistently because they change the game. Linebackers, a dime a dozen. Safety, a dime a dozen. Running backs, a dime a dozen. Left tackles, quarterbacks, and defensive ends changed, and now 3 techniques because Arnold changed the whole game. But I mean, I gotta let you go, Kane, man. I appreciate you, Magic Kane. Thank you so
problem,
much.
bro. I'm enjoying the show, man. Keep it up, bro.
All day, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. I see you, Amar Ward. Call in, man. Man, that's fun right there, V12. I love that kind of stuff. Talk to my boy Amar Ward. I hope he call in, man. He told me to answer the phone. Man, look here. When it's in, it's in. Bergie had a quick question for us. Oh, shoot. That thing moves so fast. Bergie, Coach, honest question. With the talent we have coming in on defense, do they shine if Manny keeps the defensive coaching staff intact? V12, I'm going to let you answer that first.
I don't believe so. I think sometimes you have to, if you're bringing in new players, you may have to install a new system. Because players, one thing about players, they watch and they see. And if they see things that aren't working, they don't really gravitate to that very well. So you have to be able to make sure you have a defense, you mold your defense into the players you have around you. And if Blake Baker did that this whole season, I don't see where Zach McCloud did fit in Blake Baker's defense. But again, maybe because he is a senior, he gets the nod where he's not producing. So with these other guys coming in, playing elsewhere, they may want a fresh start. They may want another defense. They may have some suggestions on what needs to be done from a defensive perspective as well. So I think you definitely should shift the defense around these new guys coming in to better. Because whatever you're doing, whatever we're doing right now as Canes in the Canes defensive realm is not working. Let's switch it up a little bit. It doesn't hurt.
Oh, that's real. Oh yeah, my friend. This is my man right here, man. Toriano Brooks. Oh yeah. At the end of the day, coaches coach and players make plays. We all know the old coaches saying, you either coaching it or you're allowing it to happen. I don't care how many stars a player may have or not have, the player needs to be coached. Oh yeah, my friend. Hey, man. Hey, call in, man. Brooks, man. Talk to me, man. I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. I miss you. That's my boy right there, man. But anyway, yeah, no, he's 100% right. You know, because this is what I realized too about coaching over V12 and playing and all this stuff. Coaches help players and players help coaches. It's a beautiful marriage, right? Prime example, that interception that we had that we didn't get because of the whatever it was. But there's no, like, when that ball bounced up and what's 44 name? I forget his name. I'm so sorry.
Jennings.
When Jennings picked it off, like, that's a player making a player's move. There's no drill. Like, coaches don't do those type of, I'm going to kick the ball off the receiver's foot, it bounce up and you dive and go catch it. That's just a player making a player's move. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That happens. That's a player making a player's move. But yet, that stat will go on to the defensive coordinator's resume as my players had X amount of interceptions, right? I get it. That happens. But then sometimes coaches put players in position to break on those balls to pick those off. Those are the type of things I'm saying. So it still goes in the real quick, man. Bostic, man, this is my boy. Hey, I'm gonna love this boy to death, man. One of my former, I keep saying, boy, he ain't a boy. We're a grown man at this point, man. But hey, look, I'm always gonna be coach. He always gonna be player. I called him before the season when I got kicked off the show. Hey, call in again, Bostic. I want to hear what you got to say. But Joshua, the phone is open, man. Doggone it, move too fast. The phone line is open, Joshua. Go ahead and give it a call right quick for somebody to jump on. I know this is my 12-year-old phenom right here when it comes to football, man. So go ahead and call in right quick. Let me see here. All right, let's go ahead and bring this up right now. Go ahead while we're waiting on the phone to ring V12. And the sad part, people don't even call the man name. They just call his number. Like, come on, man.
I didn't think 53 did that bad at DE. That's McCloud. Yeah, they did move. They moved him a little bit. He had a. I don't know his stat. I think he had a couple tackles. I didn't think he did great. I mean, here's my thing. When we talk about 53, we're talking about a person who we were expecting to be an impact player. See, that's the difference. He wasn't any other guy coming into the season. So to see that he said he didn't do that bad, to me, he didn't do anything because he was touted as an impact player. Those are the guys who were before the game, they show them on the screen. Your impact players are on defense, Zach McCloud. Impact players, this person. Impact player, Bubba Bolden. Zach McCloud was supposed to be an impact player. For the season, I didn't think he did well at all. And tonight, he may have had a couple times. I saw him get shook a couple times on a perimeter play. So I don't necessarily think he did great, to be honest with you. But I mean, I respect your opinion. I just disagree.
No, I just feel bad.
I mean, the person who presented the comment.
Yeah, I feel bad for the player, man, that,
But here's my question to you, Coach. Here's the interesting. Does he stay? Does he stay, or does does he come back? Does he come back?
So you're asking me is
does McLeod come back and use one more use the year of eligibility to come back and play at Miami again to redeem this year? What are your thoughts? And then if he does come back, where does he play? Is he still a viable option at middle linebacker or defensive end?
You know what, man? I'm gonna say this. If I had to advise him, I would advise him to come back. Right? If I was his advisor, it had nothing to me with being a Hurricane fan or whatever. If I was to advise this young man, which I think a lot of them, Bubba Bolden too, he been getting exposed too much. Like, man, the way that dude broke him down for the end zone, had that dude speed turning in the open field. I'm like, come on, bro. But anyway, see, my thing is, you don't want to get drafted in the NFL to get a cup of coffee, right? I mean, you don't want to be there so you can say, I got there, or I got a free agency or whatever. You know, I'm sorry, the undrafted free agent deal. It can't hurt him because right now I don't think Zach McLeod has done enough or will do enough based on his expectations. That's the problem with people understanding. Based on the expectations, see, once that bar goes up here, bro, it never goes down. So once that bar goes up here, people expect you to at least be at that bar, if not above it. And he wasn't even touching it. I was looking at the Oklahoma State before their middle linebacker. We were talking about this pregame. Bro, their middle linebacker has 76 tackles. Our leading tackler is Bubba Bolden with 65 that plays safety. And you have to remember this. Let's call a spade a spade. The people that's drafting you, these GMs and all that stuff, they number crunchers, bro. They data dudes. These dudes not how many GMs say that they coached 15, 20 years in the league and they know what they're really looking for? Their job is to get the player for the cheapest amount of money to be up under the cap. They're data crunchers. So I think he should definitely come back. We got a call in right now. Caller, talk to us. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, Coach, it's Josh.
Josh, what's up? It finally let you through, man. Hey, man, we hot boys over here, man. What's going on, Josh? You 12 now, right?
Yeah, I'm 12.
You too. Hey, but you sound like your voice now got a little deep too, man. What's up with you?
I'm great, Coach. I'm here to talk. I'm a Michigan fan, but I watch the game. I just know one thing that I see from Miami a lot is that they just can't win the big games. They win the games they're supposed to. I'm a Michigan fan, so I've seen this for years and years with Jim Harbaugh, that they beat the teams that they're supposed to, but then when they face a top 25 good opponent, they just can't get past them. They don't win, and that's going to be a problem if you can't beat good teams. You'll never even have the chance of going to the college football playoffs.
Now, you're 100% right, bro, and that's going to always be the litmus test for any program, right? Like, I'm going to just bring up another program, Vanderbilt firing Derek Mason. Why? Vanderbilt ain't never been good. I don't think they ever will be good. They have too many academic requirements. They're in a different boat, a different type of private university, and they're playing in the SEC. I mean, a great season for them is being 500. 6-6, if that. Their Super Bowl is being 7-5. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's their national championship. So to fire a guy out of there, I mean, yeah, okay. So yes, you're 100% right, Josh. Detroit, you got something to say about it?
Josh is absolutely right. What's up, Josh? I've been hearing you for the past this season, man. You've been bringing a lot of great insight, and you're absolutely right. Miami. Now, this would be their fourth straight bowl loss. They haven't won a bowl game since 2016. They had a comedian back in the day. He would say, "That's a problem. That's a problem." I think his name was Talent. That's a problem. And We have to be able to rectify that. I know Coach and I, we went back and forth this season about the progress. Yeah, we won 8 games, but now we've lost 2 in a row. And to Josh's point, anytime we play somebody with equal talent, I'm not even talking about superior talent, equal talent, a la Oklahoma State, a la North Carolina, we cannot beat them. That's an issue. And we have to get it rectified. Yeah, how much time are we going to give Manny? I don't know. Randy Shannon tried to rectify. They fired him too soon. Al Golden he comes. Yeah, probably fired him too soon as well, but it was going in a bad direction. Mark Richt comes along. We have a good season. New blood, new injection. He wasn't really the guy. And then you got Manny Diaz, who was hired by another team, and then they offer him the job. So it's almost like we always bringing in the second or third tier person. We need a person who wants to be at Miami, who wants to coach at Miami. I told Coach this years ago, Josh. I said, watch this, Coach. He gonna know what I'm talking about. I said nobody wanted to touch Lane Kiffin. They got that in their minds. Lane Kiffin was a hell, and excuse me, Josh, I'm gonna curse a little bit. Lane Kiffin is a hell of a coach. I mean, for your young ears, that's not a bad word. I mean, you heard more than that because you probably play video games. But my point is, he had some issues at a couple other schools. No one wants to touch him. He goes to an FAU school who wasn't even on the map and produces, and now he's in the SEC. Miami could have got him for the cheap. We didn't want to touch him. So we have to be able to get the best coaches and develop players and coaches at the same time. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I'm good, man. Josh, anything you want to say?
One more, 2 more things. So Lane Kiffin is more of an SEC guy, so I don't think they really don't have a chance. More if he just got like an Old Miss, he would take that over Miami because he's just such an SEC guy, and that's where he belongs, and it shows.
I was talking prior to him taking an FAU job before he became. I agree. He's a SEC, but before he had no place to go, he was a journeyman, and a smaller Division I school gave him a shot to resurrect his coaching career. But that could have been us. We could have been that person. He could have resurrected our program. Probably would have still been there, bringing in other people because he's the big name. It could have probably brought in the big recruits and the big talents as well. But to your point, you're exactly right. He's an SEC guy. He's not going anywhere.
All right. Now, I love it, man, because you know what? But hold on real quick, Josh. Like you said about Lane Kiffin and he has a different set of rules, right? He plays by a different set of rules. He's not struck by money. He doesn't care what people think about him. If you had a chance to see his last press conference, dude had on a Christmas sweater and a doggone Santa hat talking about Nick Saban. And I think he understands players, right? He understands he's not playing that political game. He's not about shaking hands and kissing babies all the time. And I thought we need a radical dude like that. I hate to say it sounds crazy, but
we do.
No, but the university doesn't want that. And that's the problem. The fan base wants it. The university wants it. We want to, hello, how are you today? We are the Miami Hurricanes, and we've come to play football. That's what we want because they're trying to keep a particular image. I've said this before. Miami is a private university. They want to be that, quote unquote, the Notre Dame of the South, the Stanford of the South, the upper echelon when it comes to that type of deal. And so they want to try and be that way. They don't want to, and so that's a whole nother spiel, man. But Josh, man, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Josh.
Wait, can I just say one more thing before I go, Coach?
Go for it, man.
Do I not?
Go for it.
Well, the one thing, you guys have equal talent to everyone else except Clemson. You look at 5-star, 4-stars. Everyone else except for Clemson, you guys have more 4-stars than 5-stars. Then it's not a player. It's not a talent thing. It's more of a mental thing. They can't get over the mental aspect. I don't think there's a leader in the locker room.
It's a cultural thing.
Every team function.
Definitely, it's a cultural thing, man. It's a cultural thing, man. So, Josh, I appreciate you, man. Hey, that voice sounded a little deeper, man, but you're getting up there right now, man. So I know you're driving the young ladies crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man, and we're gonna open it up to some other guys.
All right.
Thanks a lot, man. Anytime.
Have a great night, guys. Bye.
You too, buddy. All right, real quick, man. What I'm gonna do is we at 175 right now. We can get this thing to 200. I'm gonna get a gift card out right now. We get this thing to 200. How many likes and dislikes we got? How many likes we got? I don't care about dislike. How many likes we got in the building? We're gonna get this thing off. We get to 200 people in the chat. And the first person that calls in can give out the right answer to the question. I'll be sure to go ahead and give it Canesville gift card. See what we got right now. We at 176. Come on, get your mom on the line. Yes, sir. Boy, hey, man. Hey, we hot boys over here, man. Look here, man. What's up with you?
Not much, man. I'm just want to talk about some of this football.
Let's do it. Talk. Hey, man, hold up. First of all, get your Barry White. Deep. Ain't nothing but dudes on here, man. I want to talk about that. Barry White. Get that voice up, dog. I want to hear you, dog. I got you, man. What's up?
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
You got me. Yeah, man. So, I typically see that this problem's been going on at UM for the longest. And I saw it even with Al Golden. The problem is that, they're not recruiting. If you want to run a certain scheme, you need to get those kind of kids that run your scheme. They're recruiting too much of what they think is athletic. I give a perfect example. We got a kid on UM right now. He played DN his whole life. All right, undersized for the D1 level to play DN. So you recruit this kid, and now you have him. Now you move the outside linebacker, and he's not even in the rotation. He's not even getting in. All right. So, and I'm like, so why would you recruit a kid and you're gonna move him to a position that he's not even gonna help the team? All right. So you were just recruiting a kid because he was dominating out of position and he's in your backyard. Everything that looks good, everything that shines ain't always gold.
That's right.
That's why I try to tell people. I always argue with guys. We need to try to keep all the talent at home all the time. I said, well, I can go back to all the UM teams. We didn't always get the best kid at the best stacks in their backyard. We didn't get none of the Davis brothers. All right. We didn't get Cedric Irvin. All right. We didn't get Willie Middlebrooks. All right. There's a whole bunch of kids that we did not get in our backyard.
That's true.
That's when UM was UM though. All right. Because UM got kids that fit their scheme and wanted to be there and had heart and was tough. All right? And that's why I think when we got this 5-star, 4-star rated stuff, that messed the whole game up and it made coaches lazy. All right, now you can just a coach is supposed to recruit the area. He's not watching no film or hitting those hallways and looking at practices and what these kids are doing. He's looking at a list. Oh, this kid's a 4-star. Oh, he's at Homestead. Oh, let me go down there. Oh, this kid's a 5-star. He's over here at St. Thomas. Oh, let me go talk to that kid. And if he has the measurables, he's recruiting that kid hard.
Mm-hmm.
If today's standards was used back in the day, Ed Reed would not. Ed Reed was an undersized kid.
Hold on, war.
Bush Davis and the boys, they were.
War, real quick, say that again because it went out right before you said Ed Reed, because I want the listeners to hear that.
Yeah, I was saying that today's standard of recruiting was used back in the days when Ed Reed was in high school. Ed Reed would never went to UM because Ed Reed was undersized, all right, and he was from a small area in Louisiana and wasn't recruited really that big. But Bush Davis and those coaches then, they work. And look what we got. We had got a champion-minded guy who worked there hard and set it up for some great players that came behind him. You know, he helped teach Sean Taylor and helped Antrell Rose just because his presence was there. You know, so we don't have that no more because we're going off a list.
Yeah,
they're not recruiting like they should be recruiting.
And War, you
and
know
I'm not
what?
taking away with 30 kids that's on the team now. They're there, they deserve it, but we're not coaching them up to fit what the coaches need them to do.
Right. Now I'm gonna say this, War, because we work together, right? And we know how this thing go. Hear what I'm trying to say, and you just proved my point about coaches doing their due diligence when it comes to recruiting guys. What I find very hard to believe is, again, everything is driven by data today, right? Everything. I don't care what you do. But football is not a data game. You know what I mean? Yeah, we keep stats and That's cute. But there are things called intangibles that there's no data on. You know, like I said, like V12 was saying earlier, the guy that's going to go out, there's no data on the guy that's going to call up his teammates to get them to come out and catch balls on the beach, on the sand. There's no data that states that. But like you said, we getting all these doggone computer guys and these computer coaches. That's the problem. We're getting a lot of guys. I mean, man, we talked about this before, Ward, all the time. We getting dudes that was good with the computer and that can make a beautiful PowerPoint. And all of a sudden they become the doggone the wide receiver coach or the linebacker coach because they can make a computer talk, but they can't make a man move. Feel what I'm saying?
Right. I remember we're talking about to that point. I remember CeeDee Lamb during COVID. He came down. I think he may be from Florida, but he got together. He's working out on his own before the draft with Chad Johnson. He's working out with Antonio Brown. He's taking his time. He's taking the time to invest in himself so he can become a better receiver. He's already a great receiver, was already a great receiver at Oklahoma. So we have to be able to invest in ourselves in the offseason. That's where it's won. I remember the stories where Santana Moss would say he running in the sand, him and his brother, running in the sand on the beach, catching footballs to get faster. And Reggie Wayne, we got to have that type of mentality moving forward. It can't just be, I'm on Instagram every day. I'm playing Xbox every day. We have to be able to invest in ourselves, and it shows. It shows the people who do well. The Saquon Barkley and those guys of high caliber. They invested in themselves in the off season.
Yeah, man, and you're 100% right. Like that's what I'm trying to say, man. Is that where's the art of recruiting? And here's the thought. And War, you know this. We've been to many camps together. The guys that are giving out the 4 and 5 stars are who? Bro, and I'm not here to knock it, bro, but I'm just got to call a spade a spade. I've seen the guys that have worked for the 247, the Rivals, the Max Prep, whatever. And I'm not knocking them. Everybody's entitled to whatever. These some Call of Duty dudes, bro. They video guy. They just want to play video game. I'm looking at them. They 24, 5-year-old, like football. I don't want to call them geeks in a negative way, but like they're football nerds. Like they like football. They like recruiting. They're enamored with the 6'5" guy. Wow. Because when you look at most of them, they're 5'7", 245 pounds, not into the sport. You know what I mean? They were fans. And so our coaches now are basing their futures off what a fan is ranking a kid instead of getting their due diligence. And that's where my issue is. You know what I'm saying, Ward?
Coach, I had a 6'5" tight end when I was coaching high school. A 6'5" tight end. He caught 19 catches, 19 passes in 3 years. You went inviting him to Paradise Camp. Was kind of interested at him. He's at another D1 school, but he caught 19 passes, and we was a spread. He was never like a tight end. He was listed as a tight end, but he was at receiver most of the time. But because he was 6'5", 210. He looked good. Hey.
Yeah, and we talk about all the time, Ward. Like we talk about, because when you bring guys in, you got to justify if he doesn't work out, right? If it doesn't work out well, then, coach, he meets all the requirements. He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds, he runs a 5, he bench presses 350, he squats 600 and blah, blah, blah. He meets all the, but can he play football? That's the question. Can the dude play football? You know what I'm saying? So real quick, man, like I say, man, you my dog, man, love you to death, man. Let me get some of these other cats in here because I'm trying to get his gift card out. If we can get this thing up to 200, I know it's getting late. It was already 11:30. I'm trying to get this thing up to 200. We get it 200, man. We can make it happen, man. Hey, but for a low price, Ward, I give you this gift card if you call in at the right time. If you cash out me.
All right, y'all boys, these eyes 12.
All right, hey, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm down here, man. I need to holler at you anyway, man.
Yeah.
So no. All right, so real quick, man, that was awesome, man. I'm gonna do this. Let's go. We got the card up here. I'm trying to give it out right now. All right, let's go. We at 162 right now. Let me pull this up. Let's see how many people we got in here. I had to take my jacket off. That Bobby Brown was getting a little hot, but hey, real quick, I want to say this. I know this is down here, and y'all see the little cash out thing down here. It says Coach Hayes Football, the cash out. And you know what? I have to say this. There are quite a few people have donated to my cash app, but sometimes I don't see it because I don't know. But when you guys give to the super chat, which is fine, it pops up here on the screen. But I got quite a few people that are giving the cash out, and I'm just gonna pop their names off. Hopefully they don't mind. I'm just gonna throw them out there real quick, man. One shout out there for Bostic. I appreciate you. And I'm just gonna call first name so it don't be an issue. Kerry, I appreciate you. Brian Gibson, Kerry, I do hard. I see him all the time. William, appreciate you. Maria, appreciate it. Dante, appreciate you. Let me see here. William again, appreciate it. So thank you so much. And then I would love to go ahead and definitely give you guys a shout out, but it doesn't, Cash App doesn't allow me to leave a message. So if you get that red heart from me, just know, man, it is from the heart that I thank you for the support. And I do appreciate everything. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it, man. It's awesome. People saying they calling in is going to voicemail for some reason. Well, maybe it's probably a couple of people calling in at the same time. But the phone line is open right now. You're more than welcome to call in and make it happen real quick. Bergie said something funny about do you think that Snellenberger had an iPad?
Had an iPad. I saw that. That was funny.
Hey, you know what funny, Vitor? Snellenberger actually came to my school one time. So he came to the school one time to get a player. He was at FAU at the time. And he came to the school to get a player. Mm-hmm. Hey, dog was so old school, man. Like he still had the old, the plaid pants. hey, Buddy still had the old school. He had the Easy Spirit shoes, dog, with the 2 Velcros across the top. Hey, he is who he is, but he was still coaching, man. So I had a chance to actually sit down and talk to him for a little bit. So that was actually a lot of fun, man. Right. But he was at FAU at the time, so it was pretty cool to talk to him and see what's going on. Like I said, a lot of people calling in. Voicemail. Hey, man. Phone line open. Let me see. Bergie say you're trying to call. Yeah, I got you. If you call, it's open right now, so go for it. Like I say, sometimes if 2 or 3 people call at the same time, it won't happen, man. But I'm about to go ahead.
What about these predictions, Coach? You got to get on there. We got, what's that? Oh, hey, my friend.
My boy Brooks. I got a call. It's loud and clear. Talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from.
Hey, Coach, this is Anthony. How are you today?
What's going on, Anthony? How you doing, man?
Hey, Coach, I have a question for you in B12. Do you think, are you going to change your mind now with what we were talking about earlier today about Manny firing, with how bad the defense started? It took them a while to catch up to the offense and adjust Do you think now Miami's going to fire Blake Baker?
B12, take it away, brother.
You know what? That's a good point, Anthony, because in the beginning, I was like, ooh, it's about to be bad, bad, bad. He ain't going to have a choice after this game. Now I'm kind of hedging my bets. I think he may actually find a way to keep him, and I think give him one more year. That's what my gut feeling is telling me. I think the defense played and the score was close enough where he can argue to anyone and kind of defend the defense.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care I honestly don't care how close the game was. It started horribly the first 3 quarters and stuff like that.
I agree, Anthony. Yeah, and I'm with you.
If he releases or fires him, do you want to go after T-Rob from South Carolina, or like a defensive back coach from like Clemson to promote them from learning from under Venables? Because isn't that a same defense, 4-3 defense that we run in Miami that Clemson runs too? Isn't that the same similar type of defense that we run? That 4-3 defense that Clemson runs?
Can I tell you something, Anthony?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know, I hear guys, especially from the fan perspective, oh, the 4-3, the 4-2-5, the this, that, and other. At the end of the day, it's only 11 on 11. You got to find a way to make 11 people move. All defenses have won it. 3-3-5s, 3-4s, 4-3, 5-2. All these different defenses have won it. At the end of the day, you got to find ways to make men move. That's what coaching is about. And so I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you, from coach to, and I don't know if you coached or not or whatever.
No, I don't coach. I did tackle. I did a little bit of tackle when I was in high school, like coached Pee Wee football, but it wasn't like, I wasn't that technical. I was like, it was for fun and stuff like that. We didn't take it too seriously. Stuff like that.
I got you. But all I'm trying to say is, you know, people, the 4-2-5 is better than the 4-3, and it is. Anthony, hold on. Anthony, hold on. I want to answer you.
Sorry, I'm getting excited.
That's all right. I know you are.
That's good.
You good, baby. The 4-2 is nothing but a nickel defense. If I put 11 X's on a board right now, you couldn't tell me the difference between a 4-2. The only difference is even and odd defenses. That's it. I'm telling you. Guys getting caught up with these numbers. So I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying, trust me. And I'm going to do a video about that one day. We're going to talk about it, whatever the case may be.
Well, you know what, Coach? Sometimes you have a different insight. And although I know football fans, we have insight, but ours is limited unless we coach the game, unless you played it for a long time. So sometimes when people talk about the 4-3, the 5-2, sometimes that's putting the players in certain positions, I guess, to suit their strength. And also because most defenses, they have a base defense, 5-2, 4-2, whatever, to your point. But when the offense shifts personnel, they have to get out of that, because you can't run a 5-2 with five receivers on the field. It ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? So most teams have a base defense and then shift to whatever's gonna be a nickel or any type of, you know, single high defense, things of that nature. But when you hear these numbers, I guess it's indicative of how, for example, I think back in the day, Ray Lewis played in the 5-2. Well, that was Ray Lewis, a quick linebacker, and he could move very well and get to the running back very quickly. So I guess I can understand Anthony's point, or some, you know, from a layman's standpoint, if you don't understand the defensive, how you can get caught up in these numbers.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly.
And since you guys are coaches, can you honestly explain to me why is it that it seems like, do you think the athletes we use don't fit that defense? The athletes we have on defense doesn't fit the 5-2 or 4-2-5 defense that we're trying to run?
Me personally, no, I don't think so. I just think that I'm just be quick about it, because, like you say, I know you've been trying to get in Anthony. A couple of people are. Got to get my boy Toriano Brooks on, man. That's my friend. Oye, mi amigo, man. But I know I look Spanish, but I'm not. But anyway, But to answer that quickly is no. I think it is more of a philosophy and a teaching. See, just because they call you coach don't mean you know how to teach. You know what I mean? Again, coaching is making men move. You have to find a way to make a man move. Make them understand.
See, this is what I'm saying.
Doing.
Manny doesn't fit the style of defense we're trying to run. I understand we hired him, but Manny seems to fit more of like a Big 12 or his style of play of defense he's trying to run fits either the Big 12, the Pac-12, the Big 10 or something like that, the AAC, or maybe the SEC. He doesn't fit the ACC style of offense people are running. That's what worries me. What he's trying to run doesn't fit the style of play that the conference plays.
I got
stuff like that.
I got you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and finish that out, man. We're gonna move this on. Anthony, thank you, man. You always been supporting us. Thank you so much. Let's get this thing going.
Have a good night, Anthony. Good stuff.
Bye now. All right, real quick, man. I'm gonna pop this question up here. The next person. Oh yeah, my friend, I need you to call in. You ready? I'm going to pop this question up here. I'm giving the thing out right now. Let's get it. Hold on. I'll take it off. Then my homeboy. Oh, yeah, ¿qué pasa, man? What's going on, man?
Oh, qué hola. Qué hola, papá.
Arrowhead. ¿Qué pasa, man?
Everything good, man. Everything good, man. I just finished watching this goddamn nightmare on TV, man. I'm sick, man. I'm sick. You know, I'm not even I just like watching good football, man, and that's not good football I saw.
Yeah, man, it's been tough. It's been tough all week, though, man. But yeah, talk to us, man. You give it to him, man. You know, we work together too, man. This dude work with wide receivers and everything. So talk to it, especially from the receivers tonight, man. What happened, man?
Coach, they not getting no separation, none whatsoever. My thing is, they don't have that dog in them. They don't have that dog in them. Saying, I don't want this DB. I teach my kids. I don't want that DB touching you, man. I don't want.
Yeah.
That means you need to get off the line. Get your ass. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
It's after dog. No, it is what it is.
And once you get past them, get missing. There's a lot of things that you have to do at receiver. DBs, you know what? They just glamorize receivers that can't catch. That's all it is. At the end of the day, they need DB. All they got to do is be in the right place and hold the moment and stop you from running for a second or two. That's it. Break up the timing. That's it. Receivers have a lot of things they do, and I don't think that those receivers that they have right now are polished enough for what they're trying to do. First of all, they're trying to go fast. Your receivers aren't polished enough to go fast like that at the end of the day. I see them huffing and puffing more than the defense doing sometimes. You know.
Yeah, I just think, man, too, Brooks, like, we still don't have a big guy, right? And you know this because you actually was with Dre, man. Like, we don't have a big guy, you know? And we know that Nick Saban. We've had plenty of recruiting opportunities with him. He understands you got to get that one dynamic dude. And we don't have that one dynamic. We don't have that one dynamic. You know this straight up about Dwayne Bowe. You coached him personally. The 6'3", 215, 220-pound dude that's going to not only take the top off, but going to fight for the ball at the highest point.
That's going to be a dog. That's going to be a dog every play.
Yeah.
And I don't see those kids. I don't see those receivers playing like their life depended on it. At the end of the day, yes, you're getting a free education, and that's great. But you came there to play football and get an education. That goes both ways. That means you're learning on the field and off the field at the same time. I don't think coaching-wise that they're coaching those kids up. And like I said before, you either coaching it or you allowing it to happen at the end of the day. Yes, they 5-star, 3-star, and all that good stuff. I don't give a damn. At the end of the day, if you don't have no stars and you have 5 stars, that kid wants to be coached.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing, fellas. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Brooks. Go ahead and finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Say again. Go ahead. Go ahead, Vito.
Yeah. So here's my thing. We've had, and I'm gonna disagree with Coach a little bit. I don't necessarily think it's the size of the receivers that we're recruiting, because size to me is not a real big thing. And let me defend that point. Because we've had the big receiver. We had Cager. Cager couldn't catch a cold. Cager was all at 6'5". He couldn't catch a cold. We've had D. Wiggins is 6'3". Pope is 6'1". These aren't small guys. We are missing that impact receiver. That's the problem for me. Impact. Ted Ginn Jr. all at 5'11", 5'10", but he's impact. You see my point? So we have to get back to these impact players, these guys that pop on the film, that can catch the ball. Desmond Howard, one of the greatest out there, 5'9". So I don't care how big you are. I get Dwayne Bowe and Drake. Santana Moss, 5'11". These guys weren't the biggest guys. Even Braxton Berrios, even Braxton. You know, guys like that who pop on film. So we need to get back to those guys who are makers, who can make or break your team.
You can't have a whole squad of burials and things of that nature. It's great to have some speeches like that, but guess what? We got speeches like that, and they not getting no separation from nobody. At the end of the day, so
guess what? That's my point. But you're right. That's my point.
Does matter somewhere down the line. It does matter.
Right.
Those 50-50 balls and things of that nature. Unless you're just one of them electric receivers that got glue in your blood, you're not even going to have a chance to come up with those balls. And once again, at the end of the day, Miami wants to go fast, and I understand that. But those guys aren't up to par to be running fast. To play fast like that.
Now, you're 100% right, and that's what I was trying to say. That see, there was always a contrast. V12, you had a Santana at 5'11", but then you had a 6'3" dude in Drake, right? Prime example. Exactly. You had a Dwayne Bowe that was a 6'3", but then you also had a Skylar Green at LSU that was a small go-get-em guy. Like, there was always that mix and match that. Exactly. Like you said, a Berrios was good, but yeah, you can't get on the bus with a bunch of Berrios. Here's the problem too. This is what I'm trying to say. Even though Pope and Harley and those guys may be that height, and Wiggins, they don't instill fear in a DB. When Dre lined up, instilled fear. When Amari Cooper lines up, instilled fear. When Julio Jones lines up, instills fear. When those 6'3" dudes line up, they instill fear. Therefore, guess what? And now it creates a dynamic of, do I double cover him? Do I double cover the 6'3" cat and leave a speedster in Santana open? Or do I double cover Santana and leave a 50-50 ball open? But remember, I still got to stop the run game. See, it's still 11 on 11. And so I'm with you 100%. I'm not saying we got to have a team of 6'3" guys, but the 6'3" guys we have don't instill fear in anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know why? Because they're not impact players. They're not impact players, and they're not consistent. And if we move that aside, they're not consistent players. Mark Pope will drop the ball regardless. So it doesn't really matter if you scared of him or not, you know. So
that go back to, are we getting our tier 1 players, or are we just still recruiting our tier 2 players out of Miami?
But here's the thing, Coach. I took a look at this. I was very interested to figure out when the call was a one about the stars. Mark Pope was a 4-star recruit out of Miami South Ridge, and guess what? And which is interesting. So hold on, and his buddy D. Wiggins was a 3-star. So that's probably why they both can't catch the ball. They probably played on the side of each other, but they're both bigger receivers, and I guess they had decent careers in high school, but getting to on a collegiate level, they're not doing them. And one more point. Amari Cooper is 6'1". He's not a really, really big guy. He's an average side receiver. And also CeeDee Lamb is 6'2". So you don't necessarily need, the big bruiser, 6'4", 6'5", 6'3" guys, but you want a receiver that's an impact player who's consistent, who can catch the ball and, like you say, instill fear. And that goes by being consistent.
I love it.
Once again, that goes back to recruiting. Yeah, they're recruiting in the backyard, but they're not getting the best out of the backyard.
I agree.
At the end of the, they're not getting the best out of the backyard.
Think about it. Think about our backyard. Just think about who came out our backyard that is killing it. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley. Dog, this is our backyard.
Correct.
And these are dogs, and they excelled in college as well as now in the NFL.
Correct.
Hell, Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
exactly.
And we took his ass to lawyer. Hey, sorry, Bobby Brown. We took him down to the University of Miami. He too small, coach. Hell, let's go back to even your boy from Miami High. Come on, talk to me, man. Short dude, but ballers. Play for Buffalo. Play for Buffalo. Come on.
Oh, Roscoe Parrish.
Roscoe Parrish. Dog. That's what I'm saying. We're not recruiting dogs.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
saying. And don't get tired of making a play.
Yeah, but 305, hold on. But 305 Kane rep says Pope balled in high school. I'm not saying he didn't ball in high school. It's a lot of ballers in high school, but they ain't dogs.
Exactly.
You gotta find a dog. I'm talking about, listen, bro. I'm talking about dogs. And where are those dogs going? Those dogs are leaving here, bro. And we got to get them back.
Exactly.
And I don't care. And I'm not talking about receivers. I'm talking about all position dogs.
Exactly. People, like you said, want to be there, want to represent UM in a great fashion, and want to be a dog on Saturday.
Yeah. We got to get them dogs back. Because, dog, we're losing them dogs to everybody else. I mean, you just think about it. And you know this. You coach Duke Johnson, just like I did, but you stayed at the school. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I may be 100% wrong, so please correct me. I've said this before, and correct me now, Brooks, if I'm wrong. Duke Johnson was going to go to the University of Miami. I don't care. Bobo the Clown was the coach because he was a hometown kid, and he loved the University of Miami that much. Am I right or wrong?
Exactly. As an 8th grader, the question was asked, what school would you like to go to? He said, Coach, I want to go to the University of Miami. I said, well, if you take care of your business like you've been doing these last few years, you'll be able to make your choice to go to any school in this country that you want to go to. So he was going to go there regardless. And so you will get some of those type of kids, you know what I'm saying? But they somehow, some way, they don't pan out like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Duke did. You know, but there's a lot of kids that they miss out on. A lot.
Bro, they miss out on dog. I'm talking about dog. Like, bro, how do you miss out? Like I said, a Ja'Cory Brooks right now that was at Booker T.
Exactly.
Like he's gonna go to Alabama and turn that damn thing out. Amari Cooper, Miami Northwestern. I was at Alabama. Listen, I was at Alabama when he went in there and committed to Nick Saban at the university.
Come to UM and probably catch more balls at UM and put itself on the map even bigger at UM because of the style of offense they run. But they still don't get a kid like that because of what's going on there.
Well, we try, guys. We try to get a lot of the receivers from Northwestern. Some of them ain't pan out. We try to get, sometimes it's hit or miss. I'm not saying it's not from a lack of trying. Maybe the talent recruiting people at UM, the directors and the recruiting coordinators, their eye is off. They're not offering the right players because I think your point, coach, is that they're not even, are they offering these players or they're totally overlooking the players, not even giving the players to make a decision to go to UM.
Can I tell you something? I'm gonna tell you a story right now. And Brooks, I'm so glad you on the phone, dog. Now, I was the defensive side of the guy, but I was, talk to recruiting coaches and shit. And I always bring up a kid like Dwayne. At that time, he was a kid like Dwayne Bowe. Right? And a lot of these guys, the Ollie Highsmith, the Terrell McGills, I had never seen, I will always remember this picture. The University of Miami did not recruit a kid like Dwayne Bowe properly. I saw they came in a white Escalade. It was Larry Coker. What was the linebacker coach there? Not Armstead. What's the other
Barrow,
dude?
Michael Barrow.
Yeah, Michael Barrow. All of those came one day at the very last. Nick Saban was there once a week with that same ugly pink coat on.
Yep.
Like this. If you come to Louisiana State, you will be a champion. I'm trying to tell you, we got it set up, blah, blah, blah. That's Nick Saban. What I'm trying to say is these kids are in your backyard. It is not, you don't have to get on a plane. Bro, I'm seeing Nick Saban flying in and out of Opelika Airport coming to get this kid. Coming to get a Terrell McGill. Coming to get these kids. Santana Moss Gator dude, if you look at the high school championship game, he's got on University of Miami Hurricane shoulder pads. Santana Moss gave him his shoulder pads from the U. And they didn't try to recruit. So what I'm saying is, if you go after them and you lose them, I can dig that.
Yeah.
But if you ain't going out, and you tell me if I'm telling this story wrong, Brooks.
Nope, you're absolutely correct.
Bro, you don't even go after these dudes. He's the top player, the top receiver in Miami. Now, if he goes to Miami and doesn't pan out, okay, but you did your deal. How are you losing them? Because you're not trying to recruit them. And that is still going on 20 years later as of right now. That same thing is going on. We were there, bro. We playing Max. I seen Max Gene Gillis. They had the ball on the 20-yard line. He picked up my man. I ain't gonna say his name because I ain't here to embarrass nobody. And slammed his behind against the goalpost. No, that means you took a dude 30 yards down the field, and you, bam. We lose a Sony Michel to Georgia. We lose a Isaiah McKenzie to Georgia.
McKenzie.
These what I'm saying, but they go elsewhere. They got dog in them. But what I'm trying to say is we don't even try to get them into the building. Just because you offer a kid don't mean you recruiting a kid.
Exactly. That's just mouth. That's just their mouth working.
Yeah. Oh, we offer you. That don't mean you recruit. You know when you recruit, it's just like a woman. Hey, baby, I love to take you to the prom. If you say it one time, yeah, you made an offer, but you ain't putting in that work.
Exactly.
You ain't courting her. You ain't bringing her the roses. You ain't walking her home. You know how we used to walk home and they had a little blow pop in their ponytail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Ventura.
While you walking down the street.
Sour apple blow pop. Sometimes two. Sour apple and watermelon.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. We losing them kids. Now, like I said, a Cook and Yearby, I got a better understanding for losing a kid to a Florida school than I have losing them out of the state.
Exactly.
I don't like it, but I have a better understanding for it. But dog, think about that, man. And I don't say this in no disrespect, but I have to say it. Between Cook and Yearby, we got the second best of those two. Let's be honest.
No. That decision was made when they were in high school. That me personally, I always thought Cook was better because you can play. He's a football player. I want football players because if I can't plug you in at running back, I can put you back there at DB, and if you touch it, you're going to take it back for 6.
That's right.
He was way more electric when he touched the ball, and he didn't get as many carries as Yearby did either.
Yeah. Look at this. Brian Brown says Tutu Atwell. Yeah, hell. Let's even go back to when you had it and Charlie Strong came in and snatched Teddy Bridgewater.
Exactly.
Lamar, somebody put it here earlier. Lamar Jackson wanted to be a Cane. Like this is what I'm
They didn't
trying
want
to
to
say.
take the ride to Boynton. They didn't want to take the ride to Boynton Beach.
No, know what I'm saying? You got to get it. You got to go out here. You got to get at these shorty. Because one thing I'm going to tell you about them boys in the SEC, not just Alabama, all of them, they going to come get them. And here's the deal. They going to spend the money to come get them. You don't even have to spend no money as Miami. We always talk about money in Miami and money costs a tank of gas, bro. Not even a tank of gas. Most of them right there around the corner from you. So think about that. It don't take no flights. It don't take no hotel. It take you some time away from the Heck Center to get your behind to the school. And you don't even have to do that. These kids want to be there so bad, they'll come to meet you.
But they can't take them to take one anymore, so that could be an issue too.
They can take them to black, gold.
They can't take them to take one no more, so that may be an issue now. And you know how we got on the we got a couple of them came because they were hanging out. You know what I mean? So it's the good and the bad. You know what I mean? So but you know how I go.
Hey, real quick in the comment section, y'all let me know if y'all remember a spot called Black Gold.
Black Gold.
Hey, if you remember that, I'm finna do this real quick, man. I'm finna open up this thing and I'm finna give out this gift card right now. Let me see the light shining on it. There we go. We got the gift card right now for Caneswell, man. They hooked us up. But, bruh, hey, look at my dog right here. Hurricane Millie say the mint. Bruh, I ain't lie. Listen, I moved away 5 years ago. I passed on 27th Avenue. I can't even see the mint no more. They done built up the doggone. Hey, they done built up City Hall, the police station. Bruh. But hey, only in Miami can you have City Hall, the police station, the whole building with the strip club stuck right in the middle of it, dog. Only here, dog. Look at this, boy. Hey, Roddy going back. Black Gold used to have that show on Video Mix. Slow motion say on Biscayne. I'm loving it. 305K Rip. I got a question about Foxy Lady. That was the first one I used to go to. I'm gonna give you some game and we're finna get up out of here. If they put a cherry in your drink, they knew you was under 21. I'm gonna let you know something. If they put, so the bartender, you go in there and order something, they put a cherry in there. They used to let the girls know, hey, Jit, you under 21. We only doing tabletops. Ain't no lap dances, man. Cut that out. Anyway, man.
No touchy-feely. No touchy-feely.
No toca, senor. No toca.
No toca, papa. No toca.
No toca. So anyway, man, you say the Foxy Lady still up and running. It probably is, man. That thing, boy, look here. Anyway, man, I'm finna get off of this thing, man, but we finna give out this cane deal. We've been on here for 2 hours and 22 minutes. I'm loving it. But I'm finna get this out right now. So, Brooks, man, I love you, man. We're going to take it back, man, and we're going to go ahead and make this thing happen. Come on, you talking about King and Diamond.
Man. Y'all keep up the good work y'all doing, my brothers.
I appreciate it too, man. I'm down this way, so I'm going to hit you up.
Yes, sir.
All right. Man, you talking about King and Diamond. That's new school. All right, boy, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Talking about King of Diamond, that's new school, boy. I'm taking them back, boy. Y'all, hey, I'm trying to tell you, don't let it fool you, boy. Hey, y'all don't remember when it used to be bootleggers around there. You know what I'm saying? Doggone Baby Vegas. All right. So real quick, where the conch salad at? I don't know. I've been away, boy. So anyway, real quick, man. The next call, I'm putting it in. I'm putting it in right now. Here we go. Let me put this up here so we can get up out of here, man. Caneswell gift card. He rushed for 299 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game winner with 50 seconds left during the 1998 49-45 upset victory over the BCS number 2 UCLA Bruins. Next call in with the correct answer gets the gift card right now. So I'm gonna just say this real quick while we're waiting on the phone call to come in.
All in all, what you gonna do? We gonna grade the season out? We thought about the season, or you gonna do a season wrap up show? That makes me something to think about too.
Yeah, we're gonna do that later, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because they because we still got time. You know what I mean? Call in. I'm gonna just say this: call in. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not taking it out the chat. You got to call in. If you can get through and call in, it is all yours, man. But so anyway, real quick, you can put it in the comment section to get an answer away. That's cool. But I need a full name. Call in and get the answer. All right. So I'm gonna do that, man. He said, "What's the number?" It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Pinellas Kane. Here we go. So like I said, once shout out to my boy Bostic. I saw him up here somewhere. Well, there you go. Bostic said, as I said, make the move. Ed is the name that will turn the tide. I don't know, Bostic. I don't know. Like I said, it's a different skill set. You know that. It's a different skill set from being a player and a coach. And you just don't go from, and that's what you're saying, you just don't go from being a player to a coach. Name one coach or one player that, like I said, took the helmet off, put the headset on as the head coach at major college football. Name one. I'm not talking about a guy who went up the ranks and became a position coach and then a coordinator, or even just came in as a coordinator. I'm talking about from he hung his cleats up.
Uh-oh.
We might got a hot one here. We got a hot one here. Call or talk to us. What's your name? Hold on. What's your name? Where you calling from? And do you have the correct answer?
My name's Elijah Banks. I'm calling from Panama City, Florida.
All right, Elijah Banks. You call him.
James.
You call him. Hold on, because I got to make it. Man, come on, like a game show. I got to give you a little. So, Elijah Banks from Panama City, Florida. Here's your question.
That's right.
This player rushed for 299 yards and 3 touchdowns, including the game winner with 50 seconds left during the 1998 49-45 upset victory over the BCS number 2 UCLA Bruins. Who was it?
Edgerrin James.
Edgerrin James. What was his jersey?
Number 5.
Number 5. Right here, baby. It's all yours right now. You got it. It's for $25, man. You can go online. If you happen to be down that way, you can go by and get it, but you're more than welcome. I got it right here for you. I'm going to email it to you. So right real quick, I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to get your email address from you, and I'm going to get all the information from you, okay?
10-12.
All right. So real quick, do me a favor. I'm going to let you talk to V12 right quick. I got to go get the information. That Bobby Brown, I forgot my pen. My bad. V12, talk to him right quick.
Yeah. So how would you think the season ended out? What's your honest opinion, evaluation of the season, how it ended and how it started to finish? What's your honest evaluation in a quick minute? What do you think?
Well, my honest evaluation of the season is the offensive play calling was a little suspect. They had the defensive guys playing 10 yards back, but instead of Miami trying to just throw short passes, they was running to the defenders and stopping and trying to catch the ball. But they should have been just doing short passes and then try to go long over the top whenever the defense come up. But they wasn't doing that. I've seen it all game long, but other teams do that to us. They would always throw short passes, throw slant passes. I mean, just like tonight, the guy was wide open on like a 3rd or 4th and 1, and the quarterback noticed it and just threw it out there to him. Bam, first down or whatever. And we couldn't do that all season long. And, I mean, it just in the defense, oh, my goodness, that was just atrocious about how they was just always allowing teams to just go down the field on us like it was nothing. And it just was bad all the way around.
Yeah, I saw one play where Bubba Bolden, he's safety, he's already 15 yards back. He's still taking read steps. I'm like, where you going? He bailing out. Where you going, Bubba? You already 20 yards back. The DBs, most DBs were playing. They were given 5 to 7 yard cushions. No jamming. So the free releases for the receivers for Oklahoma State, and the one receiver was just running free through the secondary like it was nothing. So it was definitely a tough night for the passing game. I mean, we gotta step up. Somebody said that we're trying to pinpoint some corners in the portal. We'll see how that goes, but we have to make some changes going into next season. It's imperative.
Yes, we gotta make some changes scheme wise. I mean, yes, we need some corners, but the scheme is wrong. They're giving too much cushion. And like I said, you got teams that's giving our offense cushion, but we're not taking advantage of it. we are still trying to run long, drawn-out plays, and the offensive line cannot hold up long enough. And plus, where's the motion? They didn't get no motion in the backfield. Every team that we played ran some kind of type of motion in the backfield to slow up the defensive lineman. That's why offensive linemen at disadvantage all season long. I've been seeing this all season long. If I can see this, I know other coaches can see this. Why can't our coaches see that?
Right.
It don't make no sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Real quick, man. Man, I appreciate you. I'm finna get on here right now, man. I'm gonna put you on hold for a second if you don't mind. I'm gonna get your information so I can email this over here to you. And so if you don't mind, I will just put you on hold for a second. All right, brother?
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much, man. Real quick, Matthew Carter with the $2.99 says, first time listener, you guys have a new fan. I appreciate it, man. So I guess we got us a new subscriber. So real quick, we about to go ahead and get up out of here, man. We at the 2:30 mark. Hey, y'all don't realize I did a 4-hour and 30-minute show when I broke down everyone.
I saw that, Coach, man. I saw that, Coach. That was big, man. And guess what?
Guess what I was doing? Guess what I was doing?
So you had a stack of paper like you write your thesis, man, like the Flomo thesis, man. I said, look at Coach. The Coach doing this thing, man. Working hard, bro. Then I saw you on that week earlier that you was on hosting. Your hosting broke some things down. It was a good show. I'm watching y'all, man. Who's that peeking in your window? Pow. Nobody now. Yeah.
Man, let me cut this off for my man right quick. I appreciate you being a new subscriber. Caller, hold on for me one second.
All right.
Okay, hold on one second. Whoa. I don't want you to put it out there in front of everybody because we live right now. Hold on. All right, hold on. I gotta figure out. All right, Vaughn, let me know if you can hear him right quick, V12.
I can't. No.
Can you hear me?
All right, V12, did you hear us talking?
I didn't hear you talking, no.
All right, go ahead.
I can hear y'all, but I guess y'all can't hear me.
Yeah, I got you. So V12, go ahead and say something to him right quick. I'm gonna get his information. We're gonna go.
Yeah, so we definitely thank everyone for tuning in. I've had a wonderful time hanging out with you guys, hanging out with Coach Hayes, Balin, Actor Man, and hopefully this is not the last time we'll be on Talking Canes football. I'm sure there probably maybe one or two more shows depending on how Coach want to move forward. But it's been an awesome time. I think Coach has one of the most up-to-date platforms out here. He's been growing it ever since, I want to say, April. And the fans, the subscribers, you guys are so informed, and it makes the show a lot easy. Calling in and the comments that you leave. I'm a big fan of you guys. So again, from B12, it's been fun. I normally don't say a lot. So when Coach hit me and say, "Hey, you want to come on and talk some UM football?" I'm a UM fan at heart. Again, I'm a big receiver fan, so I love all the receivers at UM for the most part. But of course, I love them. Ray Lewis's, EJ, Edgerrin James, Santana Moss. The list goes on and on. And I think we'll do better. I think moving forward, we'll definitely have an opportunity to improve. It's just tough when you see a team that is a lot better than it shows on film and on paper. Oftentimes, it's in the past, the offense has been stagnant. Now the offense has done well. The defense needs to catch up. So we're looking forward to a better season next year. Hopefully, De'Aaron King, prayerfully, he's able to come back. If it wasn't for De'Aaron King, we would definitely be worse off. But Coach Terry came in, showed why he was a high recruit for UM, and I wish him the best too. I don't know who we have behind De'Aaron King to go to Perry Lee. So we may have to figure out if he's gonna stay. But again, it's been a good season. Could be better, but all in all, we'll see what happens moving forward. Coach.
Yeah, man. Real quick, man. I want to say, I meant to say this when Brooks was on the line, man. You know, V12, man, we go way back, man. Me, you, E. You know, I actually just met Balin being up here, but well, in Orlando actually. But we go way back, man. And you guys always been very big support system for me, man. It's funny, that first game I coached at New Orleans, my first game coaching, I looked up, my dog was in the stands when we played South Broward. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was 20 years ago. That was 2020, bro. Yeah, so I always said that, man. Everything that I've done, you've been here to help me, man, and you always been supportive. So I appreciate you like a brother, man. So
sure.
I'm doing something as well, man. It ain't much, but you got to make a promise, though. What I just sent you, check your phone. I just sent you something. It's not for you. It's for your wife, so therefore you can take her out for spending so much time with me, staying away from.
Oh, man. Come on, man. That's a good look, man. You know, I'm not going. I'm not going to accept that from you. So I'm going to go ahead and send it right back to you. But she may accept it. She may accept it. I'm not going to accept it for you now. But it's all good, man. Listen. Let me tell you one thing about it, man. You know, we've been in this thing together for a long time, bro. And you the coach, you the expert. And I learned so much from you. I mean, I'm a football fan. I played it for a little while, and so I let the subscribers know I'm not a coach, but I'm a fan like you guys. I played a little bit. I played, and I love the game, and I love UM. So when you call and say, "Hey, we about to do this show," I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." You know, and like I said, I mean, you have some of the most informed subscribers, and not even with just UM, with just football in general. I mean, you got Josh, who's 12 years old, young King Jedi. I mean, these young guys in the game. And they're so knowledgeable of football. It just blows my mind. Hopefully, other kids out there can get into it and study it and know the history of UM and other schools. And because football is just a great sport. And I'm a more of a college football fan than I am an NFL fan. Just love college football because I think it's pure. And the kids, you like to see them grow from high school to college and into the pros. It makes me smile when you see guys if you watch them, you cover, make it to the pros. So your reward, you're gonna see it in the future, man. When you see some of these guys you cover, but those guys that you cover, they're going to the league, coach. Trust me. A lot of these guys that you did that tape on, they're going to the league, and there are a lot of exciting guys, and I look forward to them in college, in 2021.
Yeah, man. Well, like I say, I appreciate it, but like I say, y'all boys always been there for me like brothers, man. So, that was just some gratitude, man, just to say thank you. Christmas gift, you however you want to take it, but it's for her. So I know you wouldn't take it. So that's why I said, go ahead, man, take her out to eat or something like that. Spend it on the kids. I don't care what you do with it. But, man, it's just something to just say thank you, man, for all that we've done. Like I said,
thank you, brother. Yeah. And if you need me for anything, I listen, whatever shows, that's kind of helped me. It's you don't know. I know one of your callers said sometimes during this time, man, you don't know what your outlet was going to be. And a lot of times we were home during COVID and things seemed bleak. And just to be able to, and I'm sure your callers can attest and your subscribers can attest to it, just to get on YouTube and see somebody who was like yourself, who was knowledgeable. Man, listen, this show is knowledgeable. You're knowledgeable. You're a professional. And we like to have fun. I think that's what people like about you. You know what you're talking about. And it's the real deal. And guys, who you see on this on Coach Hayes, that's who Coach Hayes is, on and off, man. We talk like this all the time. We'll be sitting driving in the car, we talking football, we talking recruits, we talking life. So you got a real deal in Coach Hayes. And I'm just not saying from a plug standpoint because it's my homeboy, because I watched this man grow. I mean, since 1993, and this 2020. So we've been in the game for a minute. So we could talk about Foxy Lady, take one. Cause that's how we used to do back in the day, and we still young. All right, so you got a good guy. Subscribe, and I'm sure the content's gonna get better, gonna improve. Cause Coach is like that. He's a perfectionist. He gonna progress, and so he's done it, and I've seen him do it tenfold. in this short period of time, Coach. So man, my hats off to you, and I can't wait till you grow more by leaps and bounds. And you will, man. Stick with it. You know, you're gonna grow, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. You know that, man. I'm gonna get out of real. I got the Ghost of Judah Tribe says, "Look, let's talk ND." I hope you're not talking about Notre Dame. This is boring.
Yeah, hey, you weren't talking that when I was busting them in the head. Was it last year, the year before last? You should have called in then.
Hey, I ain't gonna even talk that, but guess what?
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Real quick, I just want to let them know, but I do want to say thank you, man, for that $2 donation, man. Thank you so much. But we talked about that on the other show. Real quick, we did talk about that. Pinellas Kane says, take them $2 and buy you a cheap shot bottle of liquor. You're going to need that to Alabama violate your team by 40. Hey, that boy goes to Judah trying to say I'm a superhero. Hey, and if y'all don't know me, listen to me. If y'all don't, I love talking trash now. I love it. I try to be on here all, hello, thank you everybody for subscribing. But listen, I'm trying to tell you, dog, I love talking trash and it ain't no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? I just love getting into I just like having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like that kind of stuff, man. But I'm going to close down these phone lines. Man, it's been a blessing. Like I said, I know I've taken a lot of time up throughout the year from you guys, for you, Actor Man E, even my man Baylor, man. But that's just some, like I said, spend it on her. I know you wouldn't take it, but spend it on me, man. Let her know I love her, love the kids, man. Tell Miles and Emery I love them. And definitely, man, we'll get into it. Let me close this phone line down before I get ringing again. And with all that being said, man, I'm good to go. You good to go. We're going to do other things about hurricanes.
Great season, man. I enjoyed it. It's been a great season. Hey, and guess what? After all that's been said and done, we still were 8-3. What you gonna say? Some progress.
Yeah, like I said, listen, I'm always speak from a coach's perspective, right? I still don't feel that Blake Baker's job. I'm gonna just say this now, and I want to be clear when I say this on the way out. I don't think you fire a coach for going 8-2. I understand it was an ugly loss. The one loss you had was against just a better team. Clemson was just a better team, straight up. You got your head knocked off. Now, we didn't win convincingly against teams that I thought we should have, like Virginia, North Carolina State, so forth, but we won the game, right? That's a start to greatness. I get it. But here's my, and I always like to say this, here's my thing. If we know what the issue is, if we don't see that issue being fixed, then we therefore have to make a change, right? There was an issue last year while we were 6-7. Well, we flipped that around and now we're 8-2. So there was some change. There was some progress. We didn't lose the FIU this year. We didn't lose the La Tech. I mean, okay. But now come next year, the things that we saw wrong this year, if they are still there, then we have to make a change. And that's just being honest. So that's all I'm just trying to say, man, at the end of the day. But
the change was big. It was De'Aaron King. And so do we have that next year? Now that's the $1 million question going into next year, because that was one of the biggest changes of last year was De'Aaron King. So hopefully
part of coaching too, though. You got to get ball players. Right? Nick Saban, like you say, he ain't giving nobody, he can only go to that white line. That's it. Yeah. If you give Nick Saban a certain group of players, he may do certain things, but you got think about it. He's winning ball games because he has elite players. Dabo Swinney is winning ball games because he has elite players, i.e. in Trevor Lawrence. Look what happened. Trevor Lawrence didn't play against Notre Dame. But then look what happened when Trevor Lawrence plays against. Think about it. Trevor Lawrence and Tyler Davis didn't play against Notre Dame the first time. They lost. Lawrence, they play against Notre Dame. And they blow their doors off. So it's about players. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's all about players. All right. So real quick, I'm out of here, man. We're going to start our 2022 WRE, which is Watch, React, Evaluate. We're going to start that coming up. And I'm also going to do some updates on some 2021 guys who've now put out their senior films. So make sure you subscribe to that, man. Check it out. And check this out, V12. It's my new campaign. I'm on the road to 10K. Road to 10K. What does that mean? We getting to 10,000 subscribers, right? Start this thing on April 4th. If we get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of February, I'm going to run a 10K.
That's not, you're going to run a 10K?
Yeah, I'm going to run a 10K.
Okay.
You're looking like something wrong with that.
You going to run it or you going to run walk it? Like,
I ain't saying I'm going to finish it. I just said, I said I'm going to run. I'm going to run.
There you go. I get it. Yeah, so you're gonna run walk it. You can finish it, but you're gonna run walk it. That's all.
So my thing is the road to 10K. I'm gonna do that campaign after the new year. If we can get to 10,000 subscribers, I'm gonna run a 10,000K. That don't sound right. I'm gonna run a 10K. If we get to 10K subscribers, I'm gonna run a 10K and hopefully finish.
You're gonna run a 10K in Chicago in dead winter. Is that what you're gonna do?
No, they got them up here. I already checked the dates and everything. They got them right here.
Okay. Check.
I ain't running no dead winter, but yeah, we're gonna do that. And I'm gonna try and make sure that as I'm doing it, I'm yelling out names of all my subscribers, like Rocky, John Doe, Jane, Emily Doe, Megan Doe. Yes, sir. What you think?
It sounds good, and I put a strategy in for you, man. I'll be the coach, and you'll be the pupil. Then I put a strategy in for you.
I love it, but Ghost, you ain't nothing, boy. Ask that UNC running back how to run that 10K. Should be easy running through my head.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Right out of a comic book.
Hey man, I love it. We out of here. Hey, man. Everybody on here. Hold on. I did have a
Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. Be safe out there. Be safe.
Be safe. I'm out of here. I may do something on New Year's for the thing. Not related to mine, but I may go live. Who knows? But yeah, man, we're gonna check it out. I love everybody.
I put my party hat on, man, and my horns or whatever. You know what I mean? You'll never know. Let me know.
Hey,
the juice may be loose too, so you never know.
We'll find out, man. But I'm gonna finish this Bobby Brown and dog. We're gonna get out of here. Also,
my prerogative.
Y'all check out
Bobby Brown. Do what I gotta do.
It's been a blessing, man, to have Solo D on here, man.
Michelle Solo D.
That gave us that blessing to play the music. And y'all stay tuned. We're going to grow this channel huge. I enjoy doing this, man. I enjoy being around it. So with all that being said.
Always Canes, y'all. Always Canes forever. V12, you already know. I may be hard, but it's always Canes. See y'all next year.
See y'all next. Now, we're going to see y'all in a few, but yeah, we're going to
bring yeah. Canes, Cane-wise, yeah, for sure.
All day, man. I appreciate it, man. Sure. Man, I hate to go. I don't know how to get off, dog. It's like
just hit the button. Think about that 10K you about to run and hit the button real fast because it's gonna be a long one.
Oh yeah, mi amigo, ¿qué pasa, man? What happened? My man gonna be running a 10K with an IV with some Hennessy in it. Oh man, y'all, hey,
you run the 10K straight to Foxy Lady, you may have somebody running with you. Straight to Foxy Lady, 10K.
Well, I might get one of them Instagram models to run in front of me, man, for the 10K. But I'm gonna leave that alone, man. I'm out of here, man. Y'all, hey, we gone for the day. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. We out of here. Y'all subscribe to Solo D, man. He been putting a lot of work in, and we out, man. Canes.
Gang gang, 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 gang gang. You see him in orange and green? That's gang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's gang gang. Gang gang, 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 gang gang. You see him in orange and green? That's gang gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's gang gang. since a juvenile. I be where they throwing up using crowds. You know how that school get down. Not taking no L's, we ain't losing now. Don't get it confused right now. I represent making these music sounds. They play me when they study in their dorm room. Request me an Uber now. I be screaming Kane gang. Across the world, they be screaming out the same thing. We first to arrive and last to leave. We feeling a sense of capacity. You know I won't change while you asking me. Be throwing this you to the casket deep. Be all on the field like Sebastian B. Rockin' Kane's well, I'm a fashion freak. Look, I be staying live, I don't pipe down. Ass down life, it's a lifestyle. Ain't like them other schools, don't confuse us. We the only ones that really throw the you up. But Kane's fam turned up where you find me. Hit hard like I seen it go to Shanti. Try to reach a Manny D, they remind me that them Kane's right back in they prime. Screaming out, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang, Kane gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. Kane gang, 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 Kane gang. You see him in orange and green? That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. You ready for Storm 18? That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang. That's Kane gang.
So low, so low, so low, deep. So low, so low, so low, deep.
CWA. Kane gang.